Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
As I like to say, hello, naked lady.
Ooh. How
I
many
like-
of them are here tonight?
Hello, everyone. Hi,
Hello.
everyone
Been
in
a
TV
while.
land. Hello, everyone in Japan and
it's
the West
morning.
Coast.
It's morning here.
Yeah.
It's
I started
morning
a little bit
here.
later so I could accommodate for. Ooh, look at that. That looks good.
I made an omelette au fromage avec jambon, avec le bacon.
Ah, voulez-vous avec toi? I don't even know how to say that.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Ce soir.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go.
All I had was a couple of PB&Js.
Uh-huh.
That's all it needs sometime. PB&J's
Awesome.
got me through childhood. I just had a second barbecue. I had one last night and then again on tonight.
Nice.
We had like a bunch of guests over. It was only supposed to start off like about 4 or 5 people.
And
Oh no, it was
then-
supposed to be 6 people, and then it ended up being 16 people. like that.
Ooh.
So I had
Did you have to
16.
get more food?
Well, the thing is, it was kind of like a potluck.
Oh, that's
kind
good.
of potluck. We just had like a bunch of stuff at the house. We had like oysters and a whole bunch of like chicken and beef and just all kinds of. I made burgers. I love making burgers.
Nice.
So and then people brought like side dishes, deviled eggs, macaroni salad. People
Mhm.
brought some rice balls and some other lots of alcohol. And I had lots of alcohol last night. And
Sake!
no sake, but tons
Oh.
of wine. And my friend, they have like this. They have their own farm. Like
Mhm.
they built their own farm, and he has limes. So he had a ton of limes and brought a lot of lime juice. And then we had lots of daiquiris and other like mojitos and things like that.
Real
And
margarita, the most important ingredient is the fresh lime juice.
it was all fresh. It was so good,
Gosh,
dude.
in
So
the
good.
world like it.
You got that from Bar Rescue.
I did.
Did we?
No,
I got the fresh
Got
lime
that-
juice.
yeah.
Knowledge.
I got a shaky wrist still. It's not because I've been single for decades. It's because I'm a chef and we got this electric juicer and I've had to juice quarts and quarts of fresh lime juice.
Yeah.
From when I was a chef at this really popular restaurant in my neighborhood, and they made really good margaritas. And it's only 3 ingredients: the fresh lime juice, the good tequila, and a little bit of not triple sec, but just the orange liqueur, like a Grand Marnier, or
Mm.
and it's just 3 ingredients in proper proportion, shaken over, with on the rocks.
Shaken, not
I
stirred.
prefer no salt because that ruins my margarita. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can taste it right now. It's so good. Shaky wrist.
Oh, I was gonna say you got the shaky wrist from using that one workout thing. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, the shake.
What? Oh, don't! It's
Yeah.
gonna meme that.
Ah, too late.
I'll end up on Chrissy Marr.
You remember
Oh
that?
boy, she's in the headlines, isn't she?
I do, yeah, like a corduroy pillow, making
Yeah.
headlines everywhere.
What did Chris Marr do?
Funny.
She's beautiful and born, and those
Yes.
peepers, and that
Yes.
hair, and that bust, and that camera presence, and that
I-
confidence, and that
I was-
wit.
I was one of the
Sorry.
lucky guys that got to get a hug from her.
Yes.
Oh,
I'll never forget
that was back in Orlando, right?
Yeah, what I know.
I just
saw
got
her
a
live.
picture with. I got a picture with Frosk. Captain
she-
America got a picture with Frosk.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, we got to see Simpcast live.
Ooh, that's right. I forgot
I got to
about
meet
that.
Zia, and I got to meet Anna, that Star Wars girl, and those two now they follow me on Twitter, and I actually, converse with them once in a while, and that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Anna just announced that she's doing a new cosplay calendar.
Fucking Zeus looks great, man. I saw a video
Yeah.
of hers from 4 years ago where she's talking about Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, and she's always been a striking girl, but wow, she's gone for that like 50s pen up thing. She looks great.
Yeah, it's really good.
She looks great in real life too.
Yep. Oh, you could tell. Like she's one of those people that because she's gone on camera without the makeup and everything
Mhm.
on. Like, yeah, she's got that natural beauty to her.
She's a really nice gal too. Like just
Yeah.
straight up. It's Zia
Chrissy
too.
was
And
one of the
Chrissy,
most. Yeah, Chrissy's like one of the most like.
And
What's
Frank.
the word?
You got to meet Frank and
I never met Frank.
yeah, and he had the kid with him too. And I was like, hey, it was great because here you are at a Comic Con, and he's playing his digital thing, and I'm like, how you doing, man? And like, you having fun? He's like, yeah. He was like, that's okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's like 12 or something. And I'm like, oh, cool. I think, and I bought a T-shirt too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a T-shirt. Oh yeah, we both have those T-shirts. That's right.
I got
What's
the
going on?
that's right. Yeah, I got the
I have the Chrissy Slayer.
Mayor. Yeah,
Yeah. I bought a Leela Hart one too.
Oh, cool.
And I was like pushing her merch. I was like out there selling it for her. I should have gotten a commission, Leela, if you're out there listening. Actually, we ended up selling all of her merch at the end of the night. I was like out
That's
there
great.
getting people to
See?
just, hey, what's up there, Pops and Dipsy? Good to see you guys here.
I haven't even opened up the chat yet. What am I
doing? Yeah.
I'm so
I feel bad about last week, guys. I just
Kenzo's here.
Yeah.
Why isn't Kenzo on the chat? I mean,
because he's just wearing a jock strap and a smile right now.
If that.
See, it's appropriate where he's from. They call it a Speedo, and they go swimming in that gear. I remember my English cousins from Leicester, Leicester. They say it's Leicester. These freaking Brits. I don't know. They can't spell. But my cousins from Leicester, we went swimming at Carson Beach down in Southie. And these kids, they just went down to their fucking tighty whities and just swam. And they're like, come on in, mate. Come on in, cuz.
Eric, I don't know where
you're
you're
retarded. You're out there swimming in your fucking tighty whities. I can see your fucking streaks from here. You were like 8 and talk like that then.
Oh, man.
Thank you very much. Hey, Pops. Hey, Dempsey. Captain Fandom. Kenzo.
Okay. Kenzo, I don't know if they're still here or not, but yeah, welcome everybody. Again.
Hello. Without the shadow of a doubt, the second best ginger on YouTube.
Exactly. I was asking who's the first?
Chrissy Mayer.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
I will admit that.
And some of those girls they bring on the Simcast.
Oh, geez.
I watch Simcast. Do you?
No, I do sometimes. I just like I don't know. Oh, that's a nice one. There's not a whole to be honest. Like I've cut. It's so difficult to follow everybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many shows out there. So I'll watch Chrissy when it's just like her talking. Sometimes I watch it. It depends. I'll put it on for a little bit in the background, but
it's so funny. For my humble opinion, I think Friday Night Tides got so much better when they brought Chrissy aboard.
Oh,
but I haven't watched it in volume like I used to. Well, because like I'm not that was like in 2019. Then freaking lockdown. So there's plenty of time to watch everyone.
Yeah.
And like, but now it's like I'll tune in and I'll say hi in the chat, like, hey, Eric K, like I like checking in with him.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see you, and sometimes I see like Brightest Day out there, the usual suspects.
Yeah, exactly.
And but it's like I'll tune in for like 10-15 minutes, and I'll be like, oh, just time, just doing stuff and then winding down.
Well, Friday Night Tides is my Saturday morning wake up. I wake up in the morning, turn it on, and it's like I basically listen to almost the whole thing.
That's good.
I'll have it like on the headphones and walking around, cleaning up, doing artwork or stuff, getting ready for the Saturday routine.
It is very podcasty. Yeah.
And then you'll hear everybody laughing about something, so you'll just have a look at it and see what they're all talking about. And it's for me, it's like I always like if it's weird. And nowadays, like so many of the guys like Pops, if he has you on his show and stuff, and I watch like a lot of I'll watch his stuff.
Good content.
Oh yeah. Sporking. I love watching Sporking and those guys chill out and talk. It's just I don't know. And Zach's whatever Zach's is doing.
Yeah.
And then when you guys are doing your comic talk as well,
I got his station up too, and it's like, oh, there's
yeah.
And you know what? Who I love watching Max Von Priestley.
Oh yeah. He's fun.
It's like he's got a Sunday stream competing with us right now. Him and X-Ray Girl are going to be making Warhammer dolls in a fucking hour, and they're going to compete with us. And I'm like, that's unfair because we're just going to kick their asses.
I'm making Warhammer dolls right now.
Exactly. We can bring it in bring Warhammer
dolls. Thank you,
dude. Max Von Priestley was actually participating in the chat a lot the other day. They had a really great stream they had on some a few guests talking about our variant covers destroying the comic book industry.
Oh, I need to tune into that.
Yeah. And I went and watched that, and I'm not as knowledgeable about like comics as a lot of the other guys are, but I had some thoughts about it, and I
Uh-huh.
threw out some questions and had like a really good participation in the chat there. And it was a really good stream. It was
I
probably
gotta
one of my
say,
favorite streams he's had.
I love Jesse Snyder. He's fucking great. I love that. I think we share that ebullience, that kind of like, you know, that positivity and energy and and the boisterousness to land
Yeah,
those,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, positive punches. I like that. I like his ink. He's got this like
yep,
3
yep,
Wolverine pods on the
yep,
top of his. I'm like, that's
yeah,
fucking cool.
yeah.
I wish I had the balls to do that.
Dude, I can never get a tattoo because I'm not about that kind of like something permanent on me, something
Uh-huh.
that has so much value that I want to have it on my like. I just can't. I've never been able to decide anything. Like, and people ask me like, "Well, what would you get if you got a tattoo?" It's like I
Ooh.
cannot think of anything that I would want to put on my body that would.
I
I
waited
don't
till
know.
I
I
was
just don't have it.
30 into my first tattoo, and it literally came to me like in a
Yeah,
dream, a waking
yeah.
dream, or an idea, a vision. I can see it, and I visualized it, and I thought about it. I meditated on it. I mulled it over, and I did it. And it's a piece of Japanese kanji, you know,
Mhm.
about yay big, just like one color.
Have you ever shown us that?
I can't. It's under my belly button. I'd be like whipping it out. It's
What
wicked
kanji
porn
is it?
stuff. It's for key.
Oh, okay. Is it the
It's
Chinese one or the Japanese one?
it's the Japanese one. The Chinese one looks more like an asterisk, and the Japanese one looks like an X, and underneath the little hut.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
The key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the
Yeah,
key.
yeah,
Key. Yeah.
and that's where your
Gotcha.
key emanates from. That's your hara, your center. That's where
Mm.
life emanates from. That's where your chi center.
Right, right.
Being
Oh,
always having a bit of a gut, I've always wanted to be able to see my chi. So it's like a good, it's a good thing for my own wellness. If I can see my tattoo, that means I'm at my best weight. Hello, what do you got here? Judge Dredd. Ooh.
I've been I put a stop to the Yahoo auctions, but
Okay.
I just want to show off a couple things I got because these are cool, man. Like old school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the color palette, and these are the first Judge Dredd anything I've ever gotten. I just love these pages. I could look at this stuff all day long.
I actually spent $200 on Spider-Man trade paperbacks, and my dad
Nice.
was pissed.
Ooh.
My dad got
oh man.
I got this in the mail.
He thought I didn't pay the rent, so he was pissed.
Oh,
Dude.
Indeed, 87, man. That's Leffler and Sienkiewicz. And the Kyle Baker stuff that comes after that. I have the entire run. I've owned that run 3 times. Yeah, since 1987.
This costs you some money to get this over here in Japan,
Dude.
but like
that Baxter paper quality,
yes.
that cover price, the mature readers, it's pre-Vertigo.
This is in such good condition too. I was looking it up online. It's like $3 or $4. It's like this should be worth 10 times that much.
It should be priceless. I paid $50 plus shipping and handling for the whole run, and they threw in the Chaikin issues too. I mean, I'm just missing issue 1 of the Chaikin run, and then it has both annuals and all of those Andy Heffler. Oh yes, now you can join in with Gray and Jim.
As soon as I was watching the stream, that's why I bought this.
Nice. Look at that Brian Boland cover.
Yeah.
That's volume 2, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can't get everything over here, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And then I got one of these French Bon d'Essier.
Uh-huh.
It was just a random one. It's like I just love the artwork. I mean, look at that.
Kenzo thinks he's the #1 Jinja, and I'm just like, come on, man. Yeah, Amy Adams is above you, motherfucker. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? #1,
so
Kenzo?
cute. Oh my god, Amy Adams got little petite Jinja. You can tell she's fun.
Love this.
Remember her in Talladega Nights? She just crawls up right up on the Pizza Hut table like Tawny Katane. Ow!
Oh, I got this in here as well. The Shade of She-Devil.
Nice. Frank Cho art. I almost bought this fresh this week on the shelves, new releases. It was for like $8.99 with a nice cardstock cover. It was the Stanley Art Germ Lau Power Girl variant. So it was this wonderful classic Power Girl with the boob window, beautifully drawn, and with foil kind of, hollow shimmer to it. and there was another version of that for $1 cheaper. But then I opened it up, and it's so terrible, and I was like, I don't want this comic, but I want the cover art.
Just the cover, yeah. I mean, again, that brings us back to like that conversation the guys were having online. It's like the covers look amazing, but you open it up and it's just like
it's
crap.
the same thing.
Shit story.
Yeah.
I mean, Perch brought this up. He says that this is like the bubble. This is like the bubble that was in the 90s where they had holographic foils and trading cards with everything. Hey, Angry.
Hey, what's up, Angry? How you doing, man?
How's the foot, brother?
Are you talking about the Teenage Ninja Turtles, the foot?
And
the chick's the hand.
and the bubble. It's just a bubble, and very soon a bubble's gonna burst. And it seems like it's happening right now because there's so many variant. I just went to my comic book shop, and there's so many variants still on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And
I noticed that too, man, this week.
And my comic book guy, I remember my comic book guy, he was and I'm worried about my comic book guy. He owns a store here in a small town, and it's the only comic book store in this town. And from what I heard from Wes, they're actually going to have the buyers pay full price or cover price for the holographic foil variants.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're paying $7.99 for it, and they're not making any profit.
Won't make any profit. They're either going to have to raise the price, or they're not going to get it.
Here, I bought a variant cover for, I think it was Batman 132. It was just this random issue. And they had plenty of the normal, stock cover, and there was no price on the cover. And this was the 1 in 25 variant. It was done by David Marquez, and I thought it was wonderful cover. And I was like, but for the sole fact that I can afford it, I can do that. It appealed to me. Not even as a speculator. I just wanted to. It was the prestige, I guess. That whole Apple thing. Remember when Apple, it was like, we are the elite brand kind of thing. Yeah. I thought that. Yeah. That appealed to me as a consumer, and I had the choice that no, I want that one, and so I bought it. It was $16, but the thing was that there was no cover price. I looked because it's what the house is going to demand for that one, I guess. It's not even in overspace yet. So it's like really interesting. Yeah.
Okay. We're showing off comics, and I told you I spent over $200 on Spider-Man trade paperbacks. This one just came in this week.
Spider-Man Red Sonja.
Oh yeah. I'd seen that on the somewhere.
It even has the at the end. It even has the original Spider-Man team up with Red Sonja.
Oh, that's cool. I love those. I just bought a couple. I just bought 3 of those. Spider-Man and Quasar, Spider-Man and the Falcon, and Spider-Man and the Demon Slayer. I've never you get 3 definite people that characters that you want to put over in the wrestling terminology, and you gotta have them fight with Roman Reigns here. I loved Marvel Team Up.
Yeah, I got the first 2 volumes of Renew Your Vows.
That's nice.
And I got Marvel Knights Spider-Man Reign hardcover.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that looks cool.
That's Frank Miller, right? It's Frank Miller cover, is it?
Yeah. I think this is a Frank Miller, but
I love Frank Miller's Spider-Man, by the way. He gives him toes, like little footy socks.
Yeah, but
this is amazing.
This is by Carrie Andrews.
Carrie Andrews, she's amazing. She's really good. Show it again. You get the blow up.
Yeah.
You get the full screen.
Yeah, this is this is like Spider-Man after Mary as an old man after Mary Jane died. And
that's cool.
He just lost the will to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really good story. It's a really good story. I mean, I also got like the last 2 versions of the last 2 volumes of Renew Your Vows. I'm gonna have to wait to get volume 3 because it costs $60 used, $64 used, and that's the one with the Venom.
Can I ask you a question about your computer? Do you have an optical drive?
No. It's a shitty little laptop that I use to play video games and watch videos.
I got a desktop with an optical, and with I'm just like, hey, I'm old school. Like, why do you need a DVD burner? Hello.
Yeah.
But I had this about almost 2 decades ago, and I paid like $50 for it then. It was the 40th anniversary Amazing Spider-Man DVD-ROM set. 11 DVD ROMs that have PDF files of 500 issues of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, all going from like 1963, Amazing Fantasy 15, all the way up until like January of 2003. So that's like J. Michael Straczynski and John Romita Jr. And I'm like, and that's like the Ezekiel stuff. And that's remember like the undead golem gangster. There was like dude, I love that, man.
You just brought that up, and now it just pisses me off because I was like, why is Zeb Wells taking Spider-Man this way? And I just looked at it. I was looking at his run, and I saw patterns, and I was like, wait a minute. Spider-Man and Mary Jane are separated in the beginning. The Digger, the totems, Spider-Man working for the mafia, Spider-Man working for bad guys. He's trying to be J. Michael Straczynski. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in Ezekiel. And
interesting. Because that was about totem powers of Spider-Man. And
I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in Ezekiel and Morgan later, because right now, at the end of the current arc that's going to happen this month when he fights Dr. Octopus, he says a mysterious ally's gonna pop up, and I think it's gonna be Ezekiel. And then in August they say two of Spider-Man's greatest foes are going to be, and it has like a jungle setting, and it looks like it's gonna be Craven. It looks like one of them's gonna be Craven, and the other one's probably gonna be Moreland, and because Moreland sucks the totems, and it says they're gathering strength. They're gathering strength to fight either Spider-Man or a different, or maybe something else. I mean, like, come on, you're not J. Michael Straczynski.
The same thing could be said for Zdarsky's work on Batman. He's just trying to ape Grant Morrison all over again. And his fingerprints are all over it, and it's just like, I mean, this is it's like retread central, dude.
I love Chip Zdarsky, and he shouldn't do that. I mean, he had his own version of doing these characters. I mean, his Spectacular Spider-Man run was incredible.
Looks good.
Yeah,
bacon.
I mean,
your face.
I just
speaking of Spider-Man.
Speaking of Spider-Man,
sorry, I just want to show this off real quick. I just got this in the mail.
Oh,
what movie? Dartboard?
Which movie is it?
Spider-Man 2.
Oh man, I love that one.
Yeah. That's
my favorite one.
Yeah,
everyone says that. That's why I'm such a rebel. I say Spider-Man 3.
This book Chip Zdarsky did. Is one of the best.
You love that book.
Yeah, it's one of the best Spider-Man books I've read in a long time. And one of the people who actually commented on my video says that this handles divorce and separation better than One More Day or Zeb Wells' run, and I believe it.
I have a quick question, James. What are we painting today?
Today I'm still working on the the commissions. Now I'm
getting Spider-Man commissions to knock off, and like Morbius, any family stuff.
Well, I do have. Let's see, how many more Spider-Mans do I have to go? I have.
Would Morbius be considered? He's Morbius is totally Spider-Man family.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I've never got a Morbius. I've never got a Morbius
request.
requests, but I do have No Way Home, all 3 Spider-Man requests, but that's the oil painting. And then I
Oh
have
boy.
another oil painting, Spider-Man, and they just want him shooting the web, but they have no like particular request for that. Yeah, those are the only 2 Spider-Man ones I've got left to go. I've got Frank Miller Batman.
Ooh. Just want to say, I know he's about to get his ass kicked, but that thing when he's popping out of the Batmobile is the yellow oval and that grin on his face, and he's about to fight the mutant leader. And I know he gets his ass kicked, but still, that's one of my favorite favorite Batman Franks. It's just that the look on his face.
Yeah. That had to be that was one of the best. That was one of the best ones.
I've got a request here of Mad Max in his police uniform without the helmet on, but he is a woman.
Gender bent Mad Max.
Yeah,
I would say maybe base her on Jenna Ortega.
Well, there's actually a cosplayer who I met in Tokyo, and she does it, and she is crazy like fit. And so I'm going to ask her if I could use some of her photos as references because it's just perfect. I think both of us were actually looking at her. We're looking at the same model. I think that's what he's basing his request off of. Because whenever I mentioned it and I showed him, he was like, "Oh yeah," but he seemed a bit like, maybe busted. Maybe he was following her for I don't know.
Maybe it's a gift for her.
Exactly. Oh, it could be. It could be actually.
Maybe it's like Mad Magazine.
Try this one for the Spider-Man shooting the web.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
That is Joe Quesada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I love playing the name. I love playing that kind of game too. Who's this?
I like this version of Spider-Man. This version of Spider-Man, he doesn't look over muscular, but he looks really solid. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love Joe Quesada's art, and also I like Frank Miller when he took over Spider-Man, and also no, not Frank Miller.
Todd McFarlane.
Yeah. Especially when he took over Spider-Man, and I also like John Romita Jr. And that brings us back to
Well, to answer that question about what I'm going to be painting today, it's going to be Deadpool. I'm going to be doing a picture of Deadpool today. This will be the second time I've illustrated Deadpool, so I'm probably going to go ahead and get started on it here now. That way I can get to bed by a decent hour. I'd like to be finished with this around maybe 12:30ish my time in a couple of hours, and then have another one off to. Man, hold on a second. I'll let the cat out.
Meow. I'll get back. Now I've just dropped an image into the private chat. Now this doesn't have the toes because this is done for for a copy of something they're selling. So it has to look more style guide or Bible wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's the cover of. I'm looking for this as well because I love these comics from this era. It's Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 60 from 1981. And this is a Frank Miller cover doing Spider-Man. And he's done a few Spider-Man covers. And this is one of my favorites. And I'm looking for this. I'm on the hunt for this floppy for my spinner rack.
Hold on 1 second. I'll share it right now.
Got it.
Let me get back to this. Oh, man. Alrighty.
He's got another one with Daredevil, too. And it's kind of like them in silhouette.
That's really cool.
It's just really awesome. But this is a regular cover for just Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man 60. It's a double-sized issue for, why? Who cares? But look at that banner ad on top. That is the win the Columbia 10-speed racer. I was 8 years old going on 9, at that summer. These started in August of 1981 and went for 4 issues. There was 3 of these, and one had a banner that said, watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends on NBC. And on one side was the Spider-Man head, and the other side was the NBC logo with the peacock in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't go for those ones as much, but anything with that Columbia Racer banner ad,
That's awesome.
Immediately I got, like I said, I got 3 Marvel team ups with Spider-Man and Falcon and Quasar just for that banner ad. $2 each. $2 each for these Bronze Age babies.
I know, man. I'm so
decent condition.
I'm so bewildered by like to me they seem like they would be worth so much more just because of the quality of art, the just the age themselves, like it just seems to me like I'm just really confused. It doesn't make sense to me like how cheap they are. It just I figured they'd be worth so much more, and I'm just surprised to see like you get like stuff from 80s and 70s for like just a few dollars, and I don't know, doesn't compute with me. And yet I see other things that are like a lot more recent that are going for 10, 20 times that much money, and I'm like, they're obviously might objectively less valuable, but oh well. I don't know. I maybe we're lucky that it costs like it doesn't cost so much money. We can get some good value stuff for affordable prices. So we look out on it.
I actually got the. One of the things that I spent my money on, not just Spider-Man trade paperbacks, was a bookshelf, so I could put it right behind there, so it makes it look more professional. And I could start putting my trade paperbacks on there.
Did James say which one he was doing? Not the oil painting.
Deadpool.
Deadpool, that's right. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
maximum damagey or something slapsticky. We don't know yet.
I don't know. I
love this. The artistic process.
And it's funny, I did something slapsticky that I thought that was very genuine. And then when I was doing my research today, I found like a picture that looked pretty similar to it, but it was kind of reversed. I was like, okay, well, somebody else thought of it. But I always try to do something where it's completely genuine. I'm trying not to copy anybody, but it's difficult because I haven't drawn them a lot, so I have to look at references to see certain things. But in the end, I tried to make them where it's something that the customer, when they get it, they're not going to find it anywhere else.
They would be, Well,
let
me ask, have you been a Rob Liefeld fan growing up?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But hey.
I'm just thinking classic first appearance.
Yeah.
New Mutants '98. You know what I mean? Like, I can see it. It's right there.
Yeah, like they have like the small heads and the really big bodies. Like the proportions were all over the place, weren't they?
Sully, did you look at
like the X-Force, right?
What was that?
Did you look at the chat?
Yes.
Did you look at the chat? Look at what Pop said about the Miller cover.
That he's got that?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I'm looking for it too. I mean, it's out there. They're all out there. You just have to hunt. You have to be at the right place at the right time. You find the most amazing things in the dollar bins.
I'm surprised you hadn't. You're not offering him a price.
No, that's his. You know what I mean? I don't really.
This is very interesting.
I'm a hunter. I'm not really like it's out there. It'll come to me. I like the good prey. You know what I mean? The shaman said to me, "Oh, little hunter, the problem is not in the prey. The problem is in the hunter. Fix your problems."
I'm just going to do it in the sketchbook as it is. That's what we're going to do today.
The shaman said to me, "There are 2 wolves that live within us all: the evil wolf and the good wolf." You know this one. Blah blah blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay. All right. So a lot of things happened this week.
Oh, here we go.
My balls dropped.
No,
I got my first pubic hair. And
no, I mean like in geek culture. I mean,
before we go too far to this, have you guys seen the Spider-Verse, the new movie?
Not the movie yet.
I'm gonna go.
I heard it's good.
I'm gonna go next week.
Yeah, it doesn't come out here till June 16th, so I'm gonna take the little one and go out and watch it.
Oh, good.
She's a fan.
That's
a fan
great.
of it.
As long as she likes it, you know what I mean. That's one of the most enduring qualities of new stuff that I don't dig is when my friends' kids like it. I'm an only child. I don't have any blood nieces or nephews, but I do have all the kids of my friends that I've had since my 20s, and they're now teenagers, and they're now they've always been capable of conversations, but it's good to see them enjoy things for their reasons, especially like the in the past 7 years, seeing them go from 9 to 15, their opinion about Star Wars. Oops. Because, and stuff like that. I think that's really important because they've all kind of dropped Star Wars. They're doing something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And like 8 years ago, when they were 7, 8, and they were crazy about it, just like we were.
Yes.
Yeah. The new Spider-Man, the new version look of Spider-Man India, I don't really like it. He looks more like a luchador. Oh, hey, Matt Gregory.
Hey, what's up?
Oh my goodness.
How you doing there, man? Fancy seeing you here, sir.
Good to see you, sir.
Yeah. I saw.
Yeah. I was also going to say I went and saw the Mario Brothers film.
Oh, you did?
How'd you like it?
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I loved it, dude.
Yeah.
I had a great time. A
lot of people.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to say they don't have it the English version here because it's mostly like for kids, and the kids can't read like subtitles, so they have it all. It's all dubbed, but it was really fun, even dubbed. Like especially Bowser. I actually enjoyed Bowser's version of the song more so than I did Jack Black's. Like I think the Japanese Bowser was it sounded a lot more. I don't know how to say it. Not corny. Well, maybe a bit corny when we were singing the song, the Peach song, especially.
Yeah.
I thought all the voices were great. I had a really good time watching it. Yeah. I was laughing out loud at multiple points. I just really got sucked into the movie, and I heard everybody's like, "Oh, the story's so horrible. The story's just so." It's like it was fine. It was simple. It was good.
It was a simple fun. It's just a simple fun movie.
That's all you need too.
Yeah.
My daughter enjoyed it. She loved it. Yeah.
And like one of the things I liked about it is that a lot of people were complaining how Chris Pratt shouldn't have been Mario. They should have the original voice actor. But the original voice actor was there. The original voice actor was there. He was Mario. He was Mario and Luigi's dad. He was also Vito, who was this one guy who was playing Jumpman in the pizza parlor.
Oh, okay.
Those are good when you leave Easter eggs.
Yeah, that's Easter eggs.
Like, listen, there was a really interesting G.I. Joe reboot done about a decade ago. It was called G.I. Joe Renegades, and it was this really fun mashup between G.I. Joe and the A-Team. So Cobra is like this, like a public brand, and they're trusted, and they have Walmarts and shit. And it's like Cobra's a brand, and they're still Cobra though. But the Joes are on the run, and they're living out of their van, and they go from town to town helping people, just like the A-Team. But there's one episode where Duke has to save his mom and dad. They're being held hostage, and it's the original Duke and it's the original Scarlet doing the voices for Duke's parents. And I'm like, fucking A, cool. Yes, please. That's cool. Good. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like that, you gotta you gotta respect it. You gotta love it.
Peter Cullen's not going to be around forever. We've been lucky to have him for like 40 years doing Optimus Prime, and but the older these voice actors get, I mean, you can hear it in their performance of these ageless characters. Like, I mean, even Kevin Conroy, he was doing Batman for 30 years. But he was, an older individual by the end of that, and you could hear it in his performance of,
Right. Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, that's cool to see Easter eggs and things like that in there. And Mario was
It was
full
canceled too
of them.
soon. Yeah.
It was
Like,
completely full of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
oh no, Gregory said
yeah,
that.
like it was canceled too soon. No season 2. Yeah. It had a Smash Brothers. It had Easter eggs to Smash Brothers. It had Easter eggs to Mario Kart. It had Easter eggs
Yeah,
to everything you could see you could want from a Mario game.
yeah. I mean, I love just
I
like the
mean,
little sounds too. Just the sounds of like whenever they hit the blocks.
yeah,
Like yeah.
you guys remember the Super Mario Super Show? It had callbacks to
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
that.
Yep.
It had callbacks to that.
You know.
Yeah. It was just even without all the callbacks and everything, just the story itself was very simple, but it was very fun. And I mean, I heard people like just complaining about how horrible the story was. Like, dude, man, I I just don't understand where like all that hate is coming from. I mean, I don't know what you're expecting from it, like some kind of big philosophical, life-changing message. That's not what you need from a Mario Brothers movie. You don't need it to be very complicated. Just have fun. Stick to it. I was watching,
You
you know what
wanted
I
a
watched
nice
today?
bonding experience with my kid.
Yeah,
Something that
exactly.
I loved and now they love and now
Yeah.
we love it together.
Yep.
Jeez,
Yes.
if I can get my kid playing Super Mario Brothers 3 with me for a couple of hours and we can just goof and eat
Yep.
popcorn and
Yep.
just like and giggle,
Yep.
that's
That's what it's all about,
I
right there,
heard
man.
an interesting spin on Mario in the new movie that everyone seems to willfully ignore the Princess Peach's girl boss character changes in order to to like this movie. We're just going to ignore like the modernity, which is I hear is evident in Peach.
No.
Nah,
I'm gonna no,
Okay.
no.
I'm
No,
calling
it's
bullshit.
no. And it even gives reasoning for it as well. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
I've been living here forever. I've
yeah,
gone through all this, and then Mario picks it up in 2 days.
Mhm.
yeah,
What it took her a lifetime to achieve, he picks up in a couple of days. So think
yeah,
about it like that, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he in the end, it's teamwork. It's no, like, and 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 afterwards, it wasn't my daughter and I, we went and watched together, right? And it wasn't she wasn't talking about Peach the whole time, she was talking about Mario afterwards.
Mhm.
So the character that made the biggest impression upon her was definitely Mario. She was going around jumping and going, "Wahoo! Yeah, Mario!"
yeah.
Stuff like that.
And
And it
and,
it
one of the
definitely wasn't her going around like
and one
she
of
was cool, it was fun, yeah.
yeah, and one of the things that it showed that Mario was in the beginning. It showed that Mario was very agile for someone his size when he was doing parkour in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and I think that's what helped him pick that up when he was in
Yeah.
when he was in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Right, right, right. Yeah, definitely. I think one of the characters that kinda gets overlooked too is, oh boy, I'm gonna get the name wrong because I have the Toadstool?
Yeah,
Toad?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Toad.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I haven't seen it in the English version, so I don't know what it all sounds like, but the Japanese one, again, like, the voice actor did a great job and
Sauteing onions.
oh, really? Or you got your food stream on there? Oh, there we go. Ooh, look at that. Oh, yummy. I can't hear you, Eric. You're muted.
Hey, thank you. I was making a short. Yeah.
Oh, look at some food porn there.
Yeah, I made my omelet and I'm sharing this with the world. And if you want to grow your station, I mean, I looked at my analytics. I got half of my subscribers
Uh-huh.
through pimping through these shorts. I'm going to
Nice.
continue to do that. But yeah, make shorts, grow your station. But I
Mhm.
specifically put subscribe for more blank videos.
Right,
And
right.
just like make that's the big thing. If I get 1 or 2
Yep,
subscribers
Mhm.
per short, I
Yep.
consider that winning. And
Oh,
so,
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Easter eggs and stuff, I know it's a little bit off topic, but I just wanted to show this off since now it's
Easter
gone
eggs.
public. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Uh, Yeah, here's
Roll
the
that beautiful
FNT
bean
poster.
footage.
FNT poster.
Uh-huh.
There's the original artwork for it. It's actually a very large piece. But for anybody out there that was still curious,
No, what kind of paper did you use, or what kind of
oh, this is
surface?
watercolor paper.
Okay.
But it's rolled up because it's from a huge like piece of watercolor paper roll that I
Okay.
have.
All
So I
right.
cut. I don't know what I did this twice. No, 3/4 the size of the poster that it's going to be. Or no, is it twice? No, it's 3/4. And so the poster is going to be. I wanted it to work large. That way, whenever it got reduced, it would look cleaner.
Mhm.
Unlike that. So yeah, there we go. It's all done now. They printed out the posters. They're going to have it at the meetup this coming. It's here in about 5 days, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's the 3rd over there. So it's on the 8th. So it's in 5 days for you
My
guys over
buddy
there.
Dr. Rachel's going. I know that. She's gonna have a good
Yeah.
time. She shared with me her cosplays too, because she's going to Dallas Fan Expo, and as well.
Ah,
And
damn, yeah, I
that's
know.
yeah. Hey, you know what? Next year, and just like, and then get something else published in the meantime.
Well, that's what I'm planning on doing right
Nice.
now.
There we go.
And I'm gonna do that.
Heck,
What is
maybe
it?
you just
The ash can?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
and then maybe
Yeah.
even just like a portfolio book and be like, hey, this is my stuff.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh
limited
yeah,
run. Just
I bring a portfolio with me as when I go there as well. A portfolio of previous artwork and a portfolio of work that I don't have, like that I can't put up on the walls.
Mhm.
So you flip through it, and it's priced as well. But there's so much stuff I got to get done. I, uh, I and I emailed Boston again
Yeah.
because if you look at their website now they've got up the artist alley. Now everything's on a wait list.
Okay.
So I
I haven't even looked yet.
emailed
That's a
them
good idea.
and I asked them, was like, hey, look, I noticed that everything is on a wait list now for the people who want to join Artist Alley. If you guys have made any, decisions, is
Decision.
like, just please update me on it, and I'd like to start going ahead and promoting for
Making
it because
plans.
yeah, and because I noticed Ariel Olivetti, one of the artists who I really admire, whose course I took,
Mhm.
he's going to be presenting. He's got a booth there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that would be like amazing if I was to be able to be at
House
the
of M?
same. What's
No,
that?
it was at Copiel. I'm sorry. I was thinking House of M. I think that was Copiel.
No, I don't. No, that wasn't a Copiel.
Ariel, are you talking about Ariel Olivetti?
Yeah, I'm gonna look up. There are.
Oh, he's done tons of stuff. I don't even know it all. I'll look at some cover art.
Ariel Olivetti, Argentinian penciler.
Yeah. I mean, he's done. Oh, geez.
Daredevil, X-Men, Space
He's done
Ghost,
like,
publisher of War Journal.
yeah, he's done a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember his stuff from Mark Waid, The Kingdom, which was a sequel to Kingdom Come.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
That's cool.
Damn. Did you hear what they did to the Punisher? That sucks.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Worse
Nah,
things have been done to him.
Yeah.
we have-
Seriously, there was Angel Frank. There was Frankencastle.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
hated
there's-
Frankencastle.
There was the Thomas Jane movie. There, which actually wasn't all that bad. And but I mean, overall, I mean,
They're just doing this because they think that only right wing extremists know what read the Punisher. But if you look at the people who read the Punisher, they don't even, or the people who use that patch, they don't even know who Frank Castle is or the Punisher. They just look at the at the symbol and say, "Hey, that's a cool symbol."
Yeah, I hate how they like treat it like it's a swastika or something. It's not what it is at all.
I mean, just because a bunch of idiots dressed up, just because a bunch of idiots had decided to storm the castle with a patch doesn't mean that it represents all of us who enjoy the Punisher, or it doesn't. Or what are you gonna try to cancel?
No, they said two wrongs make a right.
Are you gonna try to are you gonna try to cancel Spider-Man, or are you gonna try to cancel Spider-Man or Batman because there was some idiots dressed up like them during the Summer of Love?
Oh, look at this
No,
picture.
because they're on the right side of history. Don't be foolish.
Oh, here we go. This is a cool one. Here we go. I
Sorry.
like this picture.
Thank you very much. Please tip your
Here we go.
bartenders. Yeah.
There we go. Look at
Oh,
I like him in his white gloves, though. I like his more classic look. Because the white gloves mean something to me. It means like, you don't get your hands dirty because you have to keep these pristine white gloves. And he had the white boots too. But still, I'm a stickler for his classic, Bronze Age design.
yeah. That was one of that. There was a.
I'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
I'll be right here.
I actually.
Meanwhile, here's the Bat Cave.
I actually got pulled this out of my. When I heard that what they were doing to the Punisher, I actually pulled this out of my storage. Look, limited edition.
Nice.
I bought this secondhand from a friend for $60, individually numbered.
Uh-huh. Now, which era is that?
So,
Is that based on Steve Dillon?
No. Think Garth Ennis.
Yeah, and Dillon did the art.
Yeah.
Okay. He's passed on too. He's an amazing illustrator.
Yeah.
And while we're in our commercial break, please, everyone, if you haven't already, check out Anti-Steam Junk Western #0, available on Indiegogo. It's a commercial break. Here's our commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, the artist himself, Jinja Ninja. Hey, Jinja.
I pay you.
I'm wondering. Okay, now you mentioned that the FNT print was done on watercolor paper, and I actually wanted to ask you, what kind of paper are we using today?
Oh, this is also watercolor paper. This is
what makes it special?
What makes it special? I like these
tell
questions.
me about the paper for a second, please.
All right, here we go. Watson is white Watson.
Okay.
This is 239 grams, which is a little less than what I usually use around 300 grams, but this one, for this size, I can only find it at 239.
Okay.
This is a bit.
And that's per page.
Well, what 239 grams is? It shows you how much paper. This is like, I think it's like every one of it's a different kind of system that they use, but it's like if you have 100 sheets of it, this is how much it weighs.
Okay.
Or how much it weighs if you have a certain amount of sheets of it. Like that's how they get this number. So this one is 239 grams, which means it's a pretty thick watercolor paper.
Okay.
But the ones I usually use are 300. So it's going to be a bit thicker than this, but it's got a medium tooth on it. So you can see it right here. See how there's like bumps and
right, it's the
valleys
texture of the paper itself.
We call that tooth.
Okay.
This has a medium. Where did I get blue paint from? Oh well. It's got a medium tooth on it, which is good whenever you're doing watercolor pictures or ink pictures because it gives valleys for the pigment to kind of settle in.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives it a certain kind of quality to it that I really a fancy looking quality, I guess. Whereas if you get like a really smooth paper, maybe the ink won't go into the paper as well.
Okay.
And also with the medium tooth, it allows
low
you
specs.
Hey, what's up there, low spec? Yeah, with the medium tooth, it allows you to get some detail in there as well. Where if you have like a really heavy tooth, then it's going to be really rough and you won't be able to go in there with like pencils and pens and things to get like fine details.
Okay.
Yeah, the tooth will be very, very visible. Everybody has their own preferences. Ariel Olivetti, for example, we use basically the same kind of paper. He usually uses 300-gram watercolor paper. So this would be, I guess this is cold press watercolor paper.
Okay.
Acid free, which is very important. Because this has it's archival paper.
Yes.
This is made by Muse Company, which is in Japan.
Okay.
There you go.
Since it's in English, does that get exported and then you have to pay a tariff on it, or can you get that domestically?
Oh no, this is all domestic.
Okay, I don't know if that's a silly question to ask, but
no. There's no such silly questions.
I
don't know how or where it's coming from. There's this blue ink somewhere that is mysteriously. Oh, there it is, right there. I found the culprit. It's just annoying. It's probably like a little bit of oil paint somewhere that came off. What else was I going to say about this paper? Yeah, this how much did this cost? So this has 15 sheets in it, and at 15 sheets, this cost about $20. So it's a little bit over $1 per sheet. Like we're talking about like $1.15 per sheet or something like that. Which, if it was 300 grams, it'd be probably about $1.75 per sheet.
Okay.
And the size is it's not really all that large. As you can see right here, it's not even the size of a piece of, what is it, legal print.
Correct.
Yeah, the width is a little bit bigger, but the height is shorter. So I price all my stuff to, like, whenever I decide my commission prices, it's all by dimensions, size. So something at color this size is going to go for about $120. So whenever I'm doing these, I usually, like, if it's like a something this size, I'll usually spend about an hour to hour and a half on it. And so, they're getting their money's worth. And I think other artists who do commissions probably spend a lot less time on something this size. But I consider myself like a beginner artist when it comes to commission work at these Comic Cons.
Okay.
So I put a lot more work into it. But that's just me, though. Yeah.
American craftsmanship in Japan.
There you go.
There we go.
I haven't decided what I'm going to be doing for this picture yet, so I'm still looking at reference photos.
What's your happiest kind of memory of Deadpool, I guess?
Well, I don't really have a whole bunch, if you know what I mean.
Mine
For me, it was the New Mutants.
The movie.
The movie, I saw the first and second one.
The second one sucked.
Yeah, the second one. I wanted so much more from a Cable character. I'm sorry. I like Cable, and that was like, no, this isn't. No. I've never watched that movie again. I've watched the first Deadpool again, but I will never even bother with the second Deadpool again. Now, the commission form, he says he wants Deadpool kakoyoku, which means cool. He wants it looking cool.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go probably with something where he's got his swords out, or maybe his swords out jumping.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do a sword jumping one. Yeah.
Oof. Okay, I think I held this out long enough. I read 26, Amazing Spider-Man 26. That was the worst crap I've ever read, especially coming from Spider-Man. What are you doing there, Sully?
I was taking the lint out of my belly button with some tweezes.
Oh, that's very productive.
I'm looking up the cover price of Spectacular Spider-Man number 60 in the book.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, cool. I got my.
You got your form. You got your.
Yeah, I think I got it.
I don't know what's worse, having to rely upon these glasses for smaller prints, or the state it leaves your eyes when you take them off and you have to readjust everything. Better off just like reading it without it.
So I guess you could talk about Bandito's thing there now. He's gone.
Oh, okay. Oh, we've talked about it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay, we'll go for $10 at a 9.2 near mint.
What is it for?
I was talking with Pops off air about
that Spidey.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, geez, that's a decent price, even if it's best quality. You know what I mean? Geez, that's totally doable.
Right.
No, we'll talk about Spidey. I know he's because I guess
you have different opinions. Yeah,
I do, but but what where I come from is just it can't compete with the hurt feelings of the vested fan. And I wouldn't want to be tilting at a windmill because Juan's not a dragon and he's not a windmill. He's my friend.
Yeah.
Or neither am I, to reverse that. But as a comic book fan,
Right.
deny that kind of talk about the specific issue for critical reasons, and I will get to those one by one by one. And but I understand that that cannot compete with hurt feelings.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the dash disappointments, this the consistency of being, just being let down month after month after month after month. That's why people get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
That's where love turns sour, and and yeah. So, but more about this pay. He's like, I took some graphic design in
Yep.
high school, and
Mm-hmm.
so I know just a little bit about
Right.
how to format a page and what goes into the production of a print publication, whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
bound book or a magazine, a periodical. So that's just a big love of my love of comic books comes from knowing how this all comes together and how it's sold to us and it's printed and distributed, and it's a fascinating process. So, but when it comes to the sublime things such as paper stock, and it is also, this is about the permeability of your paper. Like, so something with a glossy or fine finish, that's not going
Right.
to take the paint that you're laying down. It's not going to absorb it,
Right.
or
Right.
also represent your true color values
Yeah.
when it's dry or
Okay.
when time has gone by.
What I miss?
Oh, geez. My mother came in with some donuts, and she says, "You better be good boy today, and you're not going to grandma's for dinner." And
All right.
I was gonna have your Auntie Jojo take you to McDonald's for a Happy Meal.
Okay. Going back.
Sorry,
All
that was
right.
not on purpose.
Going back to Amazing Spider-Man 26. Worst issue of the run, and the run's pretty bad so far. I mean, this is why I hate a mystery box, because sometimes the payoff's not even worth it. I mean, say what you want about Nick Spencer's run.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Nick Spencer's run. I'd rather have a slow burn than a mystery box. And the fact that, and one of the things that I hated about this
That's
issue.
a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. One, yeah. Slow burn is an excellent tale. Like, look at The Wicker Man from 1974. I mean, that's a slow burn, but by the time you get to the end, you're like, oh my heaven. But this mystery box thing, it's just like, yeah, you really nailed something. This is an clavo.
Yeah, and the thing is that the surprise is that Paul ends up being the Rabin of the other universe, and Mary Jane compares him to Peter, and that just really pisses me off, because Peter, the one thing that someone brought up in one of the replies I did on a review I put on a comic book site, because I brought this up as well. They said Peter let a robber go and murder, and he ended up murdering a family member. Paul participated in mass genocide. How is that the same? Yeah, Paul feels guilty about it. But he's not doing anything. He's just wallowing in self-pity and taking care of those kids. Those kids, but who turn out to be illusions. That we created. And this is like the first step of him becoming the next villain, the next emissary, or the big bad. Because Peter lost everything in this run, and he ended up being more of a hero than he turned out. And now I think Paul is going to lose everything as well. Most likely, Mary Jane is going to leave him because they were mainly together because of those kids, and now he's going to become the emissary to try and get that family back. But you know what they say: the road to hell is paved with good intentions. and it's just so frustrating that Paul and Peter are nothing alike.
That's what the Bible said. Sorry. But it's totally biblical, though. We got Peter, Paul, and Mary. It's like a 60s rock is a folk group around here.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I mean, the guy's middle name is Jeremiah.
He's a bullfrog.
He was a
friend
bullfrog.
of mine.
Yeah.
Never really learned to read or write well.
And they have like, and it's just like he's trying to make this love triangle between them, and and one of the things that why I'm taking a break from Spider-Man now is because the whole internal monologue that Peter had in these 26 issues was him him being depressed, and that just hits too close to home for me because I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I don't want to read my favorite superhero.
That's very applaudable too, because it's like I don't come to these places to be put into a state of anxiety and panic. I come to escape that with aspirational stories that can help me cope with, that's the whole trauma angle is just so overplayed in comics.
Yeah.
And in culture. And it's just like, that's why we need these aspirational heroes, and we need them to stay upright and steady. And, because honestly, I look at Peter's choice making and motivation to get Mary Jane back. He did very un-Peter-like things. He was selfish, and he broke friendships, and he burned. They even says it, and they burned bridges. Well, not apparently, because they were here from him. You know what I mean? Like right at the end too.
His friendship with Johnny is getting back to is getting
That's
better.
What happens? I mean, friends fight, and it's it's what you do afterwards that makes all the difference. But it's perfectly fine for friends to fight. But everything that was these selfish decisions to get M to save MJ, and which works, but at the end of that though is the sacrifice of one of the young heroes. That she wouldn't have been put in this position if Peter had maybe respected the protocol, or just like, Peter was definitely, motivated by an urgency that he couldn't, sell to even his smartest friends. And Peter was right as well, because the more time spent on Earth, the more time that passed in this alternate Earth. So, so a series of selfish choices got Kamala killed.
Yeah.
And I think that Peter needs to suffer a reckoning for that.
Yeah, he's going to, it's going to be, he's going to blame himself for this. And
sure, he did about Gwen for decades. I mean, that was really good, introspective melodrama.
And he's going to need, one of the things that he needs.
Uncle Ben, and Gwen, like these are like these just things in his, these tragedies.
One of the things that helped him through the tragedy with Gwen was Mary Jane. And I think that I don't know if he's going to do this, but I think Mary Jane's going to help him through this tragedy, because she lost those kids, and even though they were illusions. But now Paul's going to get jealous. Paul's going to end up getting jealous, and and the emissary said that they are one mind, one soul, no matter what dimension they're in, or one mind, one body, no matter what dimension they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's going to happen. Paul's going to go dark side, and he's going to end up being the next big bad. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break because so far this has been the worst Spider-Man run I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy who did Spider-Man before J. Michael Straczynski took over. I don't know who it was, but he was very forgettable. I mean, one of the things that he tried to do to try to mix it up was have MJ and Peter get separated, but that was about it. But J. Michael Straczynski got Peter Parker as a character. Chuck Dixon got Peter Parker as a character. They were and also one of the things that J. Michael Straczynski got was the relationship between Peter and Mary Jane. He waited, and like you know what they say, absence makes his heart grow fonder. He waited to bring them back together, and they ended up being back together. And he said he even loved writing the romance parts with Peter and MJ, and he even left Marvel after One More Day because he didn't want to write that. It was editorial that made him do it. He left Marvel after One More Day, and then he went to DC.
Howard Mackie, to answer your question, when John Byrne put Volume 1 of ASM to sleep at issue 441, Volume 2, issue 1 starts off with John Byrne and Howard Mackie. Mackie wrote it from issues number 1 through 29. J. Michael Straczynski takes over at issue 30 through issue 58, which then goes back to its legacy numbering at 500. So, and Straczynski will write 45 more issues. He goes up to, then comes Mark Guggenheim and Zeb Wells. Yeah, and Bob Gale. And then comes Slott, Stern, Kelly, Van Lente, Mark Waid. Volume 3, Dan Slott, Jerry Conway. Volume 4, then here comes all the new issues number 1, and the issues number 1 craze.
Yeah, and this is what I don't get. Zeb Wells wrote for Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep, and we call it the Marvel bullpen. He's been in the bullpen for 2 decades.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
He should know the character so well.
He does.
Except it doesn't seem like he's writing it. He's writing a completely different character.
Mm-hmm. Who in particular? Peter,
Mary Jane. Everyone just seems so different.
Really? I liked his voice on the Fantastic Four a lot. I love a well-written, Fantastic Four, especially banter between Johnny and Ben. And just like, I love the whole thing, like the resolution of the kaiju. And it's just, Ben just saying, Johnny saying to Ben, well, I don't know, read stuff. Come on, let's go home. Like, that's cute. I loved it. That was a nice story beat.
I liked his I liked his Hellions. It was like the only enjoyable book in the Krakoa era. I liked his Hellions because it was like all out action in that series. And it just sucks so much seeing him treat a beloved character like this. I mean, Marvel this is their flagship title. They should bring their A-team.
This is an A-team though. It really is. I mean, Zeb Wells now has 20 years in the Marvel bullpen. This is his chance to fuck or fly. He's been given 3 years on ASM. That is a feather in any writer's cap, and good for him. He's kind of has he earned his place at the table? I'll say yes, he has. And then you have, I've been a fan of John Romita Jr.'s art since I was a little kid. He's been on and off Amazing Spider-Man himself for 40 years. He knows the characters. He knows how to draw them. He draws such excellent fight scenes. So
yeah,
to say that this issue itself is terrible, I don't accept that as a fan of floppies, as someone who walked into this just like, as a I bought it off the shelf, paid my $5. I got the spoiler variant. And I read it. I read it 4 times. I'll read it. It's got pacing. It's got these beautiful 5, 6 panel, pages. It's got good direction of your eyes. It's got really good penciling in the age of where digital seems to be mugging the quality of the print. It's just like there's great hatching, great line work, but then the jamming with J.R. Jr. and Scott Hanna, his inker, and then the 2 colorists. I mean, sure, there's a lot of what we like to make fun of as bisexual light. Sure.
Yeah, but they one of the things
on the fineness on Ramita's faces. I mean, coming from 40 years of illustration, it's just he is on the top of his game right now. These were really good fight scenes. These were really well drawn comic book.
Yeah,
really
I got nothing against the fight scenes. I just hate the story.
And there wasn't a lot of story to it. It was just a lot of fight scenes, which
but the entire flashback, it pissed me off. It's her and one of the things that I noticed in the flashback was that their clothes changed color almost every panel.
Mm-hmm.
Their clothes weren't the same color. It's just like it's like, shouldn't the editor have picked that up?
Maybe it's a hint saying that this isn't some kind of make-believe world. The kids were make-believe, were they, or transported back to their original dimension? Or, I mean, I don't even know what went on with that.
She said, Rabin said that, don't they look familiar? Don't they seem like parts of your past?
Mm-hmm.
And so, they were most likely illusions. And he has the power with Wyneb, the god of the god of mischief, and Wyneb is basically BFFs with Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is like another one of Mephisto's convoluted plans to keep Peter and MJ apart so that Mayday isn't born. And this all leads, and after Zeb Wells' run is over, it all leads up to, it's going to lead up to Amazing Spider-Man 1000.
Yeah, 80 issues. That could be a couple of years away, even with, even if you published every week, that would take 3 years, 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's going to be after next May, the following May, 2025, is going to be Amazing Spider-Man 1000.
Mm-hmm.
And however he ends it, it's going to lead up to 1000.
Yeah, and all of these kind of forgettable Peter things end up memory hold in a way too. Like we were talking about Ezekiel and about Moreland, and remember the result of that. Remember they tried to make corporate syzygy with the Raimi movies. We had organic spider shooters.
They still have.
They still have. Peter still has organic spider shooters.
Yeah, it was in the Nick Spencer thing. He one time he actually in the second Nick or the one of the first Nick Spencer arcs had Peter and Spider-Man become 2 separate people. Like Peter loses all his spider powers, and it's kind of like a one thing.
Superman 3,
yeah,
or Superman 2.
It's kind of like the thing if Spider-Man didn't have the great responsibility, if Spider-Man didn't have the great responsibility thing, and Peter he didn't have he was just doing this for, he was actually paying people to give web rights to, and Peter had one of the things that he had organic shooters, but Peter had he said, I remember I still had these spare shooters in the trunk. These old web shooters in the trunk when he was trying to catch him. And that was that was actually more at more out of a kind of like a lighthearted tune of great power and great responsibility that Peter lives by. And this actually, and I actually, one of the things that I get from one of the reviews I've been saying, or my video that I did of why I'm taking a break from Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run, it is that they would rather have people would rather have a slow burn than a mystery box. And
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, look at most of the Spider-Man runs. Most of the Spider-Man runs, they had arcs, but the bigger event was all a slow burn, all a slow burn, which led to a massive arc or a massive event. And Zeb Wells has given us no clues.
Gee, speaking of, I forgot all about Spider Island. Why did I just think of that? You just mentioned event. I'm like, remember Spider Island?
What's that?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
It was an event that Dan Slott got when like Silk was released. It released like the totem of the spider, and everybody ended up getting spider powers on the island. I thought that was okay, but I would have thought it would be better if it was Daredevil. James is frozen.
I'm frozen? No, I'm just pausing, looking at stuff.
I thought it would be better if it would have been Daredevil, because
Deer in the headlights. Woof.
Because like something happens and the entire city of New York or the entire island of New York goes blind. And it's like it would have been better if it was Daredevil. That's just my opinion. But also, like one of the things that I've really come to hate about Zeb Wells' run is because it is, and I'm gonna bring this up again, the mystery box, because for 22 issues we knew nothing about Paul. Then in issue 22, he said he was a partner of Rabbit. But then in issue 23 and issue 24, we knew that we
yeah,
knew.
it's like ripping off Lost. Remember like the whole mystery with Ben Linus?
Yeah.
And we find out he's the big bad of the others. And he's like he meekly put himself in, you know?
I am convinced that when Zeb Wells was writing this story, he was listening to Jar Jar Abrams' like stupid mystery box speech in the background. You remember that one where he was doing in front of that college? He's like, "Why are these two robots?" And he was talking. Well, why are these two robots in the desert? Mystery box. Why are these people on an island? Mystery box. Why are these things happening to those people? Mystery box. I mean, a mystery box can work if the payoff is great, like Jon Snow being the true heir of the Targaryen bloodline, or Darth Vader being Luke's father,
hiding things in plain sight. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that the thing is that the payoff needs to be good. Paul being Rabin, terrible.
Yeah, I also wanted to see like some kind of like more magic used at the end of Game of Thrones, like you know, why was Jon's hair and eyes dark? Well, because it was a glamour, and then it just gets removed by the red lady, and he's got white hair and violet eyes. You know what I mean? Like a true Targaryen. Like the dragons saw it, humans don't. Something like that, you know, man.
And also like one of the things is that in Amazing Spider-Man 26 is that Oh, Christ. I just hate this issue. One of the things is that, I mean, Brian LCS, who does a lot of Spider-Man, content. He's like an even bigger Spider-Man fan than me because he's probably has a few more years than me. He gave this issue a 2 webheads out of 5, and that's the lowest I've ever seen him giving him a Spider-Man an issue, because the lowest I've ever seen him go was 3 webheads. And the highest I've ever and he says that the pacing, that even though that some of the action was okay, the payoff and the secrets, it just didn't, it was just so underwhelming. And the fact that, and one of the facts is that people were like, and one of the facts is like, it just didn't sound like Mary Jane when she chose Rat Paul or Rabin 2.0 over Peter.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we haven't touched yet is the fridging of Kamala Khan. And,
and the thing is,
does everyone know what fridging really is?
Yes, yeah, I know what fridging is. It's just that was a stupid thing that Max Visaggio did when it was
Gail Simone.
Gail Simone.
Yeah, and James, you know what fridging is, yes?
No, I don't.
Okay. It's based upon an actual Green Lantern comic book written in like 1994 or 5 by Ron Mars. And we have the new Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. He's just been given his Green Lantern ring. He's figuring out how to use it. He's the only Green Lantern in the galaxy. That's the whole caveat, because eventually it's going to pay off that Kyle's been keeping the Guardians safe inside of his battery all this time. And at the right time, he brings the Guardians out of the battery, restores the central power battery on Oa, and we have a rebirth of the Green Lantern Corps and a return to the Green Lantern Corps and being as the peacekeepers of the galaxy. At the time of after Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner's, Kyle was the only Green Lantern. Yeah, trying to give him some uniqueness. Kyle was a comic book illustrator and artist, just like yourself, sir. In his early to mid 20s, living in LA with his actress girlfriend, Alexandra DeWitt. And Alex, is just very encouraging. They live together and they love each other very much. Young couple in love. So Green Lantern is, been targeted by black op things, and somebody hires Major Force, notorious bad guy, to do something about Green Lantern. So what he does is he brutalizes and murders Alex DeWitt and stuffs her in their refrigerator. So when Kyle comes home, he opens the refrigerator to have this kind of classic Friday the 13th Part 2 reveal. You know what I mean? Like the dead girlfriend in the refrigerator thing. I mean, it's been done before.
Right.
But it's like, and he freaks out. He wants to kill Major Force, but he doesn't, because he's realizing, he's the hero and he shouldn't kill, and he will always love Alex. And he goes on with this broken heart, with his responsibility, his great, because he's really a Peter Parker pastiche in a way, so that was his Uncle Ben moment. So we go a few years later, we have Gail Simone on her blog talking about feminist issues and about the victimization and the objectification of women, and using Alex DeWitt as a rallying cry and point in comics history, the example of, behold, the misogyny that's inherent to comic books, fridging, the victimization and brutalization of women.
All right, okay.
That is
I've heard this before.
So that's fridging, and that's why it's a cause célèbre. It's a very small thing. It's one story note that got blown
Out of proportion.
to illustrate and leverage some intersectional academia.
Yeah,
I can't hear that.
yeah,
Thank
but
you.
like Perch has said that comic books have turned for the better. Like you got the best writer, you got some of the best writers and the best illustrators working on the top comics, and so Lee's gone.
Uh-oh. Go ahead. You keep on talking.
All right. I wanted to get Sully's opinion on this, but yeah. All right. Like you got some of the best writers and some of the best illustrators working on some of the top tier comics now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Like I was saying, you got some of the best writers and some of the best illustrators working on the comics now.
Yeah, look at Zeb Wells and JR Jr. They're fucking tearing it up on ASM.
And also, you got like Dan Slott working on the Spider-Man spinoff. Don't bring them up. Don't bring them up again. But you got Chip Zdarsky working on Daredevil. You got like
Batman with Jorge Jimenez.
Yeah, you got other
Mark
great
Waid and Dan Mora on Shazam and World's Finest.
Yeah,
Great
you got who's the writer for the new Green Arrow?
Joshua Williamson.
You got Josh Williamson on Green Arrow. You got another great writer.
Spawn, yeah, Dempsey's right. I don't read Spawn, but Spawn's tearing it up.
Yeah, you also got like another great writer doing Hal Jordan Green Lantern, and one of the things is that the ones who were like a few years ago, who were normally on Twitter talking about social issues, they're basically doing like lower level comic books, or they're doing graphic novels.
Mm-hmm.
Like
if they can find jobs.
Yeah.
If they're getting hired.
Yeah. Who's that one that did Captain Dr. Ashra?
Dr. Afra? I don't know.
Yeah. She's doing a gender bent graphic novel of Lois Lane, or no, not a race bent graphic novel of Lois Lane, and like Cena Grace is doing another graphic novel of Superman, and they're like, these are like the people who are constantly complaining about social issues and are constantly online or terminally online on Twitter complaining about things that they don't want to, and they put it in their comic books. Like, yep. I think like Gail Simone. I don't think like Gail Simone has a job right now. Heather Antos is lucky to be on IG or on IDW, but who knows how long that company will last. And plus you have like Max Visaggio. She's not working right now.
James, don't forget the rubber chicken.
The rubber chicken? Oh, Daredevils? Or sorry, not Daredevil.
Yeah, doesn't Daredevil. I mean, did Deadpool have a rubber chicken on him? Or he's got in a burrito. Is it a burrito or is it a churro?
Chimichanga.
Chimichanga. Yeah, there's a chimichanga involved. There's some like quintessential Deadpool iconographies of foolishness that I think need to be, a fan would appreciate. Those perhaps are the Easter eggs, right? Like a space on the utility belt for like for the chimichanga holder. That goes a long. That would go a long way with me if because I'm a really peripheral Deadpool fan. But I think those are his trappings.
I'm looking at like a ton of different like reference photos. I haven't seen any of that on there. I'm not really familiar with the character all that much.
Was it a rubber chicken? I mean, I'm at more Deadpool than me.
Yeah. I think it was a rubber chicken.
I think he weaponized it too.
Yeah,
Rubber chicken.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have like a rubber chicken flying around here somewhere.
Let me look that up.
Yeah.
The chat usually knows everything. Chat, what do you think? You know, is the chimichanga, the rubber chicken? Because I'm remembering this from all the Deadpool cosplayers I see, and like, what's their commonalities? And I think the rubber chicken was one of them.
Yeah. Oh,
The rubber duck, Deadpool rubber duck. That came up immediately.
Another thing is that another comic book writer who is really making bank right now is Mark Millar. Oh, speaking of Mark Millar, I got one of the trade paperbacks I bought was the Marvel Knights Mark Millar Spider-Man collection, issues 1 through 12.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah, and also got the other 18, the last one, which has the other 5 issues, because the Marvel Knights Spider-Man was just a limited run. It only lasted 18 issues.
Right.
And one of the things is that Mark Millar has one of the best things going on right now.
You seen that wife of his? Damn, she's good looking.
Yeah,
3 kids in a fucking mansion. Good for him.
But this is the thing. These writers are trying to, like, some of these writers today, like the Sina Grays or the Vita Ayalas, they're trying to be like Mark Millar. Mark Millar
That's a noble goal. I mean, like he fucking he cleaned up, man.
Yeah, he this is one of the things. He actually wrote comic book. He actually started writing books, and then he went into TV, he went into movies, but he just came back to writing comic books because he loves comic books.
Yeah.
And
isn't that great?
And he did some of his best stuff in the indies, and they became publicized. Like, I think he did the Strange Case of Luther Strode. And
Millar?
I think so.
No, I read that was like Justin Jordan and Trad. I read those. I got those in my long box. That was like,
Well, thanks for that link there, Eric.
Yeah, that's just that's an actual Deadpool Funko with him holding the rubber chicken.
Okay. Yeah, and that's one of the things is that I really like. I like Mark Millar, especially right now, his Ambassador series and in Midnight Club, also Nemesis Reloaded. He just has that way. He just has that way of storytelling that's very reminiscent, very 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 casual. I loved his King of Spies. I love King of Spies. I loved Kick-Ass, and I'm excited to see what's next. He has this one where it's going to be like this one big crossover event of Millar World.
Yeah, big game.
Yeah, the big game. He's going to have like different people from different. Yeah, Eric's going to be back.
Oh, okay. Mark Millar?
Yeah, Mark Millar. I can't wait for big game. It's like different people from all over his
Sorry, kettle was boiling.
Yeah.
No more coffee.
He's gonna have like different people from his universe all meet together in like a big crossover.
Dude.
And he's going to have like
Hit Girl. Yes.
Yeah. And he's going to have like one of the things that he brought over one of his guys from Civil War who he worked with in Civil War to help to do the art. And I think that that is actually one of the coolest things that's going to happen in indies since like Frank Miller introduced the Spawn universe, the new Spawn
summer
universe.
event. Yeah, it's not even a crossover either. It's just going to be a solid, it's going to be big game, and it's going to have all these different characters in it. And so, because he doesn't have the line to support, or the current publication to support, having tie-in issues. Or maybe we don't know. Maybe he's just going to have like Hit Girl Special 1, big game special, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Or
done by
Ambassador Special 1.
Exactly.
Or he could have like an annual.
Exactly. And he's done Millar World annuals. I mean, he hasn't done them in years. I mean, that would be great to go back to. I love those.
Yeah, and
he's bringing in Huck. He's bringing in Starlight. He's bringing in
the Jupiter
Legion. Bringing in, is he bringing in the Jupiter people? I might not be, but I know he's bringing in Wanted, like the fraternity from Wanted.
Yeah,
and that has its own history, because in the history of Wanted, there was a golden age of superheroes. And the whole thing is the fraternity was built that all the bad guys formed a league and took out all the superheroes, and then now they run the world.
Yeah,
and that was Mr. Rictus was the leader, and Wanted was the assassin's kid who inherited the superpowers. You know what I mean? And and his monstering along the way. I mean, geez.
And I like
good story.
I'll add I think Nemesis is going to be in that.
Yeah, it's gonna. I saw a panel of Nemesis, some Pepe Larraz art that Millar shared. It was like it was Nemesis and Hit Girl in the same panel. I'm like, sign me up, please.
Yeah.
I mean, the level of fucking over the top violence that those two can commit against a room of people, it's gonna be bloodshed.
Yeah,
I'm a pacifist, dude.
And also like, I'd want to see King of Spies in there. Now, I know the one guy is dead, but his son is still alive.
I haven't even read it yet.
Oh, sorry, dude.
That's okay. I'll forget about this. I'll forget this conversation ever happened. Don't worry. I usually do. Okay. Wes has got. I put that on the list because that was like Wes was raving about that on Saturdays, and I was like, I wrote that down. So maybe if I can find the single issues. Honestly, I think I'm done buying trade paperbacks. I would rather buy the single issues for the charming, properties that a floppy holds for me. The ads, the paper, the weight of it, the portability, the serialization of it.
Oh crap!
You're not dropping your Warhammer dolls again, are you?
Yeah, I am. This one slipped. This one slipped off its base.
Have you ever heard that described to you as a Warhammer doll?
Yeah. My
I thought I just picked it up.
My stepmom says that you should stop playing with muñequitos.
Oh shit!
Or she's saying you should stop buying muñequitos.
She's that's just Mamacita tough love, yo.
Yeah. Speaking about floppies, I got this one. I just got this one.
The Danny. Now Howard Mackey wrote that. Howard Mackey invented Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, and now he's doing his creation again. And I hope you like that, because you were just saying about you weren't liking what he was laying down on ASM before J. Michael Straczynski took over.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just don't remember them.
Yeah, it's like his run was very forgettable. I mean, I even forgot that I even forgot his name, but I mean, the one thing that he did shake it up was having him and MJ separate, and having Peter be tempted by his neighbor across the building, and that was basically it that I remember from his Howard Mackey's run.
Okay.
But I think like J. Michael Straczynski had a better run, because Peter went back to his root. Not only went back to his roots as Spider-Man, he also went back to his roots as a scientist, because he became a science teacher.
Oh yeah, when he was teaching school.
Yeah, and one of the things that
I was reading the spectacular stuff and with Ramos's pencils. I love Humberto Ramos. That was like a bit more my flavor, like But when he was the school teacher, those were good stories.
Yeah, and one of the first issues he had to deal with a school shooter of a kid who was being bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And he told the cops that it wasn't his fault. That the kid just needs help. And
I wonder how that would stand today.
Yeah,
this was Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was like one of the first issues.
Howard Mackie?
No, J. Michael Straczynski.
Spidey stops a school shooter. Amazing Spider-Man, number 31. Oh, look at those J.R. Jr. pencils. Look at this. This is where he's got this this is 20 years ago, and it's just those pencils, those colors are amazing.
I like J.R. Jr. because of the way he does action. I loved him during the Hulk when he did the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And also I liked him in Kick-Ass. But one of the things that really gets me is the way he captures emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the colors look so the things look so simple. The drawings look his character designs look so simple, but the way he captures emotion is just so great.
Here's that page. It's from a Reddit, so I don't care about.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. Damn it. Let's find this.
Here, I get a better link. Here's a better link.
Hey, here we go.
Get a better link right here.
There we go. Oh, that's cool. All right.
Look at the coloring on this, and look at the line work. And I wonder if Scott Hanna inked this. I'm going to look that up. Amazing Spider-Man.
What is that sound?
Volume 2.
Is that your microphone, Juan?
Yeah, I think it is. Let me turn it down.
You hear my pee bottle? Oh no! It's from nice art by cover art by J. Scott Campbell.
Cool.
And it's not even cheeky. It's just Peter at a blackboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. J. Scott Campbell did a lot of the covers back then. That's what that. And I hate it now that they're getting
Scott Hanna, and Scott Hanna's his inker right now. And this is a long way from Dan Green, who was his inker in the 80s for ASM and Uncanny X-Men. And Romita Jr. and Scott Hanna together, they're wow. I mean, that look. Yeah, I love this 99 series. This was good stuff.
Yeah, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about this series is that
very beautiful.
One of the things that I enjoyed about the series is the way that
John, look at the pacing in those 4 panels right there. I mean, we get that this week, this level of pacing. You know what I mean? Look, Spidey's looking in. You get the other kid looking into his face. You don't everything so well. This is so well choreographed and executed. I mean, and centered. You know what I mean? This is why Hollywood rips off these storyboards, these pre-existing storyboards. Right. I mean, these 4 sequential panels. Wow, that's really good storytelling.
And it was one of the best Spider-Man, one of the best first issues I've ever read of any comic book. Or the first issue of a new writer.
Here's the cover for that particular. This was released on May 9th, 2001. And before the world moved on. But I mean, just look at this cover. And this is and J. Scott Campbell is known for his cheesecake and cheeky, his other Spider-Man cover with Mary Jane on the couch. That's what he's known for. But look, this is a wonderful cover.
Yeah, it's all I like it. It just shows that Peter is trying to get back. And one of my favorite issues that John Romita Jr. and John Romita Jr. and J. Michael Straczynski did was A Day in the Life, which showed a day in the life of Mary Jane, Peter, and Aunt May, and that this was during the Nuff Said, yeah, and it showed
that month. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was it. That the every line wide, no dialogue. It was just show don't tell. The X-Men issue was really good.
Yeah, and it had it was basically a day in the life. It was called A Day in the Life, and it showed a day in the life of Peter, Aunt May, and Mary Jane. Aunt May was doing her groceries and everything. And she had just learned that Peter was Spider-Man, and she was going through all the papers, and she was basically telling that she was can't. Anyone that was bad mouthing Spider-Man, like the Daily Bugle, she basically wrote them letters saying that she was canceling. She
called J. Jonah Jameson on the phone.
She actually told them that actually sent them emails saying that she was canceling their subscription, and when she found one that was actually praising Spider-Man, she sent them an email saying that she was going to send them money as well as cookies to print more to get the word out there that Spider-Man's a hero. And it also shows like a side by side with Mary Jane, because she's in LA doing her dream, becoming an actress and a supermodel, and Peter's in New York being Spider-Man. And in it it shows like they're doing their thing, but the inside they're both really sad because they're just so far away from the ones they love. And like Mary Jane's at a movie premiere, and it's a comedy, and there's this one panel where she's at a movie premiere. It's a comedy, except like a romantic comedy, but while the audience is laughing, she's actually crying. And at the end it shows both of them are going to sleep, and Peter pulls out his phone book, and it looks like he's going to call Mary Jane, but then he just closes it and goes to sleep. And Mary Jane has Peter all dialed up on her cell phone, but then she just closes it and goes to sleep. And it's just so sad, because both of them really do care about each other, but they just didn't do that. It couldn't be that they just felt like that, like it just couldn't be with them. But like in the next arc, they finally got back together, and that was during the Stars Turn Cold arc. And it just shows that why J. Michael Straczynski was such a good fit for Spider-Man.
It's a good writer.
Yeah,
he really is. He wrote Kraven's Last Hunt back in '89. Yeah. I mean, he was on and off that was only a decade previous to like those '90s and 2001 stories. And wow, he's just been. And then he did all that Justice League as well. He's been absolutely all over the place and good everywhere he's gone. Like Babylon 5, he's writing a Babylon 5 animated movie that's coming out this year. So Babylon 5 fans, rejoice! You're gonna get some more story and maybe some more closure that you couldn't get from the Tales of the Rangers or whatever that spin-off show was.
Also, he's going to also, like, one of the things that I really liked about his run was that like he did some of the best. That reminds me, one of the trade paperbacks I also bought was Kraven's Last Hunt.
Oh, cool.
It's
good stuff.
Yeah, it has to. I just had to get it. I just had to get it because Kraven's Last Hunt is one of the most iconic the most iconic Spider-Man stories.
Yeah,
And
art as
you
well. I
should,
mean, that's Mike Zeck, and he's like, and it's just so simple. How to get so much emotion? Like it takes a cartoonist to get really emotive qualities out of a simple, you know, non-photorealistic subject. And the black costume, it's all his eyes and eyebrow shape. That's like, and body language that emotes Spider-Man, and even Craven when he's masquerading
Yeah.
as. But it's like, I think it's good use of shadow, and that Mike Zeck, those that's wow. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. Is Mike Zeck. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I just had to get that, and that's one of the. I also got like Symbiote Spider-Man. I also got like 2 of the volumes of Symbiote Spider-Man. I'm gonna get the other 2 next week.
And
And
that's written by Dave Michelini.
Yeah, no. Let me check who wrote Symbiote Spider-Man. I got it on my. I got it on my Amazon orders.
Yeah. What's the battery on that? Who's the pitcher and the catcher?
No, I'm actually borrowing. My dad found out because I use his Amazon Prime account because it's Greg Land.
Greg Land, good.
Yeah,
Very photorealistic.
And the thing is that my dad figured out because he saw this because he saw it on his Amazon orders, and he's like, hey, did you? I'm like, hey, why did you spend over $200 on books about Spider-Man? I'm like, I just went a little overboard. And he's like, yeah, a little overboard. Did you pay the rent? Dad, I always pay the rent first. And he's like, and I'm like, that's the one thing he was more worried about. He was worried that I spent all my money and not pay him the rent. I'm not stupid. I mean, I might not mismanage my money sometimes, but I'm not stupid. I mean, I paid $200 for Soul Shackle, but I paid the rent first.
You're a man with priorities.
Yeah, I paid I paid $200 for Kill Team Soul Shackle, but I made sure I paid the rent first. And that was mainly because of the shipping costs.
Shipping can get you.
Yeah.
Shipping does get you. I mean, look at Raylos. They like ruined Star Wars.
Yeah.
Waka waka. Here at Shecky's Chuckle Hut, we provide caffeinated and decaffeinated type of jokes.
Have you guys? I don't know if you guys saw this, but they just released the Five Nights at Freddy's teaser trailer.
No, I didn't. Not even. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not on my radar. But
yeah,
I'm gonna BRB. I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back.
All right, man.
Just in 5 minutes.
What is this show you're talking about?
You've never heard of Five Nights at Freddy's?
Enlighten me.
Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of like a game. It's kind of like a jump scare game. Like,
yeah, I'm not a gamer anymore. I haven't played games in forever.
Yeah, they have like it takes place. You're a security guard at like this Chuck E. Cheese like.
Oh wait! Nick Cage was in a movie about this, right?
No, that was like the one about inspired by this one by the Five Nights at Freddy's. But this one's the actual Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay. Man, my leg is killing me.
So Jeff Atkins is on.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? So there's a movie coming out or a game or what's going on here?
First, it's no the game. There's been like a ton of games, but right now this is the movie because it has been in production hell for so long. But the game,
Does it star a woman in the lead?
no, it stars a man and a little kid.
Okay.
And
I think I saw a trailer for it.
no, it's like it takes place in like the it takes place in like the same type of Pizza Hut, like the same kind of Chuck E. Cheese like pizza thing, like an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese like pizza where a security guard and a little girl are trapped with haunted animatronics.
Okay. Yeah, I did see it. I saw something for this. Oh, man, my leg is killing me. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like they finally made a game about it. They finally made a movie about it, but I think it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be like too little, too late because a lot of people who were fans of the games growing up and have grown up and went to like moved on to something else. But maybe they'll have some nostalgia for it.
Mm. Whew. So when's this supposed to be coming out?
October.
All right. I watched Sisu the other day. I was very happy with that. I was really happy with that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people said it's
crazy.
Like it's. I saw a review. They said it was like Mad Max meets John Wick.
Dude, it was insane. I mean, like this guy, there's just so many great lines from it, great scenes from it. Personally, my favorite line is the last line of the movie. It's just too good. You got to check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go see it. I'm probably gonna see it. But first, I want to see like Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Boy, what what's his name? Who? He was on The Critical Drinker.
Chris Gore.
Yeah, Chris Gore. He got to see.
I know.
He got to see The Flash.
Oh yeah. He did a review about it. I haven't checked out his review yet.
Yeah, this is what he said. He said like the beginning, like you got Barry Allen, which like you got Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, and he says that's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you get like to the parts with Michael Keaton as Batman, it just gets so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I imagine. Like, it's obvious they're marketing that movie all about like Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman. I mean, because that's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah, and
nobody
the thing
wants to see. Yeah,
and the thing is that the thing is that he says that like Ezra Miller's Flash is just so annoying, and once you see two of them, it just gets doubly annoying. But then when you see like Michael Keaton as Batman, or when Michael Keaton is Batman, it just gets better. And he says the director has a thing for butts because he says like one of the things he said that the poses and the camera shots he has for Supergirl, it just shows a great that's a great butt shot. And he also has one at the end with Gal Gadot, and he says that it just shows a great butt shot right there. And
I won't say no to a Gal Gadot butt shot any day of the week.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
She's a gorgeous woman. And another one. The Gamer. Christ, for crying out loud! The Gamer is at it again.
Who's The Gamer?
The Gamer's a gaming website.
Yeah.
But like one of the things is like they're talking about, they made an article about Warhammer a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about how inclusive it should be.
Oh yeah.
It just pissed me off. This Warhammer is not about being inclusive. It's about survival. I mean, you look at this guy, you think he cares about your feelings? Or
Not at all.
There we go. Look at this guy. He cares about your feelings? No, he's going to sacrifice you to his god. Warhammer doesn't need inclusivity or pronouns or
yes
anything.
It does, you istophobe.
Yeah, I just brought this up. There was an article from the Gamer about since 10th edition of Warhammer is coming out. Is coming out.
Warhammer's coming out during Pride Month. I'm so into. I'm here for that. I support you. I hope Warhammer is my ally, and I will be Warhammer's ally as they come out for the 10th time. I've come out 13 times already, and like my ex-wife Brenda, I used to go clothes shopping for her, and I'm ripping off, waiting for Guffman. Sorry.
Yeah, but
Corky was like.
This is one of the things is like they were talking about how they should be more inclusive, how they should have more people of color, more non-binary, more people.
He's from Mars. He's fucking green. Yes, but is he marginalized? I don't know. He's imaginary and he's green.
This is one of the things. It's like Warhammer is not about social issues. It's about survival.
Yeah, society comes after conflict.
Yeah, this is one of the things because this Warhammer is basically a galaxy that's constantly at war. That's because it's in the name, Warhammer. It's not Cuddle Hammer.
It will be when we're done with it.
And this is the thing. This is the thing that a lot of people don't get.
What's that?
They say that there should be more.
Oh,
more like
yeah. Okay, I got you.
They should be there. There should be.
Are they talking about are they talking about sales? Like, why isn't Warhammer selling to all the spectrum of humanity? Why is it only seem to be appealing to this one group? Why can't we get the diversity of humanity to buy Warhammer? It's because its trappings don't represent the customer base.
Actually,
no.
There are guys. I actually met someone who's gay, who's a big Warhammer fan. He actually made his own Space Marine Legion called the Rainbow Legion.
Uh-huh. Other than you're going to say something clever like the Fighting Fairies or something.
No, but this, he just made this Legion up. He just made this Legion up. And no, there shouldn't be any Space Marines because the Lady Space Marines wouldn't survive the gene seed alteration.
But that's in story, in universe stuff, and all. Okay, this is where I'm just being devil's advocate, okay, and this is how we can get a better response to these people. But you can totally admit and say, see, that is an in-universe thing that we can always quote unquote fix or adjust with a story, with just an honest, genuine, in-universe way to maybe bridge that gap a bit. There is like literally no reason to exclude any human from anything. Yeah. And that is literally what something like America is based on: freedom.
Yeah.
I know plenty of Marines who are women, and I am not. I'm a civilian, and God bless Marines and anyone in the armed services every day.
Yeah, but this is one thing. The gene seed was created by the emperor, and the emperor was the only one who knew how to make more gene seeds.
But that's in story, though. I mean, that's that's the made up fiction stuff.
You know how they get more gene seeds for Space Marines?
I do it every night. Yeah.
No.
Wanking?
They dig them out of dig the gene seed out of dead Space Marines and put it in a new Space Marine, so they can fill out the ranks. That's how you get a new gene seed.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, too. But it's like that. That's it's okay. Finding things that are, I mean, I find things odd sometimes in the fictions, okay, but why not? I mean, like, you can always make room for your little sister.
There is room. There is room for the little sister. They're called the Sisters of Battle. They're an all-woman fighting force,
but they have their own unique genesis to become the woman warrior as well, I suppose.
Yes.
Something in story, something that makes sense, something that's befitting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's a great way to counter that argument too. It's like they already do.
Yeah, and some of these people, some of the people who will bring this up, saying that there should be men in that legion. There is a really good in-canon reason, because there was a war where this guy who was the head of the church named George Van Dyer said that he was the voice of the emperor, and so he weaponized the church and tried to take over everybody. The head of the sisters went and talked to the emperor himself, and she
stern talking to.
And
listen here, Emperor Pansies.
No. And she, yeah,
no.
They said
no.
Wrong.
They said her hair. They said
holy ground, Highlander.
They said when she went in, her hair was fiery red, but when she came out, her hair was white. And
hashtag ginger side.
And
hashtag ginger side, yes.
And she,
dude.
And she actually killed the head of the church because he was going against what the emperor's will. And when the war ended between the church and the high lords of Terra, the high lords said that the church can no longer have any more men at arms. So what do? They militarized their nuns.
That's cool. I mean, it's also, this is completely derivative of Frank Herbert's Dune World as well. I mean, the God Emperor Leto II, himself knew that being a God Emperor was full of shit, and that the joke was that humanity needs to make up its own mind, and humanity needs to, be unbridled and it's about this emperor that you speak of is also another totalitarian leader. And this whole thing against totalitarian leadership, it prevents freedoms, and
that's
just thematic shit, But God Emperor Leto II, found out through trial and error over hundreds of years to thousands of years that his personal troops were all women, the fish dancers, and because they just had a better sense of duty than men did. They could be detached, but then they could also retire and be mothers as well. So there's always a constant source of woman power, manpower, but they had a different attitude towards protection and execution of duties than a man would. It was just a weird story. Are you familiar with that one? Did you read God Emperor Dune?
No, I only read Dune.
Ooh, now James likes Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Eric, you're able to talk about it so much better than I am.
And by read, I mean listen to the audio.
That's reading. I consider if it's an unabridged audiobook version and you're reading it, as entertainment, that's reading.
Yeah, but this is one thing.
Form of reading. Yeah,
this is one. Yeah, this is one thing that I liked about Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap! Stepmom.
It's bigotry.
No, stepmom.
I like this because I want to be a bigot and I want a place to to be a bigot, and that's a safe space for bigots. Warhammer, no, it's not. That's not at all. But that's the leverage, and that's the excuse, the shame reason to try to, you need to take these, these story points, or else you're going to be anti us. It's like, we never said that. Why don't you just shut up, suit up, and come and play with us? It's like,
I think in the end, it's just like it's a form of jealousy as well. They wish they had that.
Speaking about tabletop, hear about WotC. What WotC did to Lord of the Rings?
It kicked its puppy.
No. They race swap so many characters that it's not even.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's fiction.
Wait till James does.
Oh, speaking of which, we've got an event coming up in 2 days.
We have a Respectful Tolkien coming up?
Yeah, actually, I think it's tomorrow. Oh shit, it's tomorrow. I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
But this time around, it's just like humor. People are putting up memes and GIFs and stuff.
Okay.
So it's like, come out with like, let's take a little bit of let's just have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My suggestion would be the end credits of the Jackson trilogy. Anything that the Hobbits say over those credits is gold. Comedic gold. Fucking great stuff.
Well, yesterday I saw In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh shit!
Sam Neill.
Good movie.
Yeah, the third movie of John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end when he's laughing in the movie theater.
Yeah.
That's how I felt after reading Amazing Spider-Man 26.
Put on your big boy panties and deal with it.
I was like,
is a good issue. Is a single issue that's going to win awards. I'm telling you right now.
No, I don't.
Its story was completely followable. The dialogue, I like Kamala Khan in this. She is loved and beloved in universe.
Yeah.
So I thought that Kamala Khan saved the world. I hope you know this.
Yeah.
This happens in Amazing Spider-Man number 26.
Yeah.
She saves the world, and she paid the price for it too. And hopefully she'll be back very soon. But I mean, holy shit. That was
go
go ahead, man. No.
All right. One thing that who was it that my daughter actually brought this up? It's so funny. I hear her making these talking points, and I wonder, does she hear me talking about these, or is she coming up these from her own, on her own? But she asked me, she's like, Dad, why don't they have like comic books at the movie theater? She asked me this. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Because she sees like me drawing comic books and comic characters, and she sees all the stuff. I show her my things, and she's like, why don't they have comic books at the theater? I was like, very good question.
They actually used to have comic books everywhere, like at the supermarket, supermarket, the pharmacy,
the mini mart,
the
corner store, the bodega,
well, the
gas
reason I bring
station.
up this question is, it seems now that they're linking this story directly with what's going to be going on with the movies. Am I incorrect about that? Like bringing her back for like the Marvels or not?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
actually, they're going to seven, by October, she's going to be back to life. They're going to take her to Krakoa, and she's going to be a mutant. She's going to have the same powers like she did in the TV show.
So are they using this comic and trying to connect it with what's going on with the movies? Are they trying to
no, they just want to put
the parallel corporate synergy, one could say,
this kind of like synergy with the what's going on in the MCU.
And it's a good way to put the character over too. I mean, in the wrestling way. I mean, just a comic book death, the sacrifice. I mean, that's Jean Grey level. How did Jean Grey die that first time? she sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
And there's just really, it was a really interesting character note because she became bigger than life after her death. And, she was Jean Grey's originally kind of just an archetypical kind of, the girl character, and
Right.
then.
Plus, it kind of reminds me, like, in 2020, they had, like, the death of Doctor Strange, but then they brought him back around the same time the Multiverse of Madness came out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, like, for a lot of people, like, yeah, the death of Kamala Khan wasn't that big of a deal, but what overshadows it is the fact that Mary Jane is the fact of the love triangle between Mary Jane, Peter, and Paul. And it just makes people pissed off about it. And it's still not gonna. This might put Kamala Khan over, but it's still gonna make people hate it. I mean, I am now convinced that Zeb Wells created Paul for the fans to hate.
Sure. Why not? I mean, yeah. You have to put your characters, and they have to be antagonist. You have to find that antagonism very fulfilling, not just like, haha, I'm here to make all the rainbow people mad by excluding them in Warhammer. Haha, I'm a bad guy. That's crazy, but having like this, like, if you find out MJ stayed with Paul only to keep Raven away from Peter, you know what I mean? She, like, I don't know. That makes, kind of weird sacrificial sense.
And also, I think it was just like it was because of those kids, because she had like a family with them.
Yeah, and those kids, it could be like, I'd be sold on like your observation of changing colors of shirts in the background, because that's like straight out of The Shining. Because in the Overlook Hotel, the color of Jack's typewriter changes 3 times, and we barely ever notice it. We barely ever notice that, man.
One thing, like in Amazing Spider-Man 25, Peter was the one that hit Paul, but like in Amazing Spider-Man, like 2019, when Peter got the job at Oscorp, he saw Paul again, and he remembered that Paul punched him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like somebody's messing with these people, and I think it might be
it explained the entire editorially, that explained the New 52. I mean, they went in one direction trying to do something, just reset the clock and make the merchandise more sellable to sell to like a younger audience. And 5 years later, it's like, well, actually it was Dr. Manhattan who was tinkering with the timelines and trying to like blah blah woof woof whackety schmackety. And because you can always do that, it's hard. Keeping an absolute continuity we've never been able to hold to a sense of absolute continuity in like 84 years of comic books. The story always changes a little bit.
Yeah, this is one thing. This is one thing. Like a lot of people are saying, or like Perch brought this up. Like one of the things that, like that, that like slot machine thing that MJ has now.
Yeah.
Paul said that if she ever hits jackpot,
three skulls.
If she ever hits 3 skulls, she'll die. But if she hits like the 3 sevens, she'll actually get like a temporary godhood. And like if she gets like I'm thinking like if she gets temporary godhood, she will remember her marriage with Peter.
And the baby they lost. Because remember that happened still. Yeah.
And it's like one of the things that kept them together was the love and the compassion they had for each other.
Yeah. And honestly too, I mean, it's kind of quasi related too, but like look at other popular media at the time. Like one of the biggest sitcoms was on NBC. It was called Mad About You. And Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt, lasted for about 7 seasons or so. But they had that archetypical Peter MJ relationship. You know, couple without kids, living in an apartment in Manhattan, struggling with life, work, love, friends, family, yada yada. But it's like that story was being, was like Dharma and Greg was like that too. They were on ABC, and that was all mid to late 90s to the early aughts, kind of where that landed.
And this is one thing that I think they're one of the things is like they keep trying the will they won't they all kind of arcs. Mm-hmm. And I think Nick Spencer actually got it right, because he said he wanted to do like the Spider-Man stories he grew up with. So one of the first things he did in his first issue was bring Mary Jane and Peter back together again. And the fans actually liked that.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's one of the first, one of the first, like I saw a comment on one of the reviews I saw. So far, Zeb Wells has pissed off Spider-Man fans, Mary Jane fans, Black Cat fans, and now he's pissed off Miss Marvel fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's trying to piss off everybody across the spectrum.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like when you have these like bigger than everything else titles, such as ASM or Batman, like it's Batman. It's like the flagship title of DC Comics. And overall, did Tom King hurt Batman? Not even as a character, not even story-wise, but Batman just sells. Flat out, it just moves its units.
Yeah, but wasn't he fired from the book?
Sure. After 5 years,
drama. They took him off. They took him off the book and put him on Human Target.
Sure, and he's like, and he had Heroes in Crisis, and he had Mr. Miracle, and he had the Omega Man, and the Sheriff of Baghdad. He's got actually some really decent, Heroes in Crisis is not, but Omega Man was decent,
Yeah,
and
but the way he
sells. Dangerous. Who talks about Danger Street all the time? Yul Carter from Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. He's one of my internet friends, and we run each other's live streams all the time. And he sells comic books. He's a shop owner, and he loves Danger Street. He can't shut up about it. I just won't buy it because it's Tom King. He's got me blocked on Twitter. I deserved it. Because it was about Heroes in Crisis.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a complete shout ahead, especially with that Jay Lee thing.
Yeah. Also
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Also, like one of the things that I God, what was I gonna say? Like one of the things that I can't stand is the fact that the story for 26 issues, the story didn't go nowhere.
Well, that's where you started off in medias res, and then everything else was flashback leading up to that what did Peter do moment, right?
Yeah, but it's just the story didn't go nowhere. I mean, it was an entire mystery, but like I said, it was
that was editorial. I could have told this story in 6 issues, but can you do it in 15? And that's where that comes from with editorial. They're like, is there any way to seriously, and he's under contract too, and he's been given an assignment for a specific amount of time, so he's got the plotting to do. These people aren't idiots. I mean, they are literally college educated English majors, people that have learned what plot is and how to pace and parse it out. So I'm Zeb Wells. I've been given 3 years on Spider-Man. Of course, I have my end. Is the first thing I wrote, and kind of, if you're thinking, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As my just wishful thinking, I hope the end is with Peter proposing to MJ. It's like what better way to bring Amazing Spider-Man 1000 than having them get married again?
The death of Mary Jane. I mean, I throw that at him once again, like Uncle Ben, Gwen. I mean, Captain Stacy. Who was the other one? Jean DeWolf. Everyone forgets about Jean DeWolf. Ned Leeds got killed. He got better.
And
Ned got killed. Harry's been dead a few times. Norman's been dead a few times.
Aunt May died once.
Yeah, but Buffy said, "And I died twice."
Yeah, look. The thing is that a lot of people have been asking for the end of one more day to be over.
Right.
And like,
but
there's
Spidey
even
sold is probably. I wonder if Spidey sold proportionally as well or better now, like than I can say in '99 when JMS and Romita Jr. were doing that. It was like a new golden age of Spidey. I just couldn't get enough of that book. That thing, because it was wow.
But after one more day, the sales dropped, and the sales picked up again later down the line with Dan Slott, but they're still but then they haven't been as big as they have. I mean, this is probably this arc was probably the best selling arc of Peter Parker of ASM this month, these 2 years in Zeb Wells' entire run.
Yeah, because it had proper marketing.
Yeah,
it's 2 weeks out. You have a spoiler of magnitude.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, a lot of people are like, did Marvel just spoil their own comic book?
Maybe.
Yeah,
it's probably did, but also like ASM 26 was sold out by 2 p.m. last Wednesday. When I went to my comic book shop, they opened at 11. They were open for 3 hours, and whatever amount that they ordered for the shelves, not their pull, that sold out in 3 hours.
Yeah,
I had to go to my secondary comic book shop. They had plenty on the shelves of maybe less than 20, and half of that was the common cover, and most of the other ones were what I got, the spoiler variant. And there was a couple of there were 2 other variants. They just didn't catch my eye. I was specifically looking for the Art Adams variant or the Peach.
How many variants are there?
There were, I think, 13 variant covers.
Why?
For the whole that whole thing, the exclusivity, the FOMO, the thing. Even I had
I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's a bit extreme.
I hope everything comes out all
covers.
right.
13 covers. Good Lord.
Oh my goodness.
What's up?
Good morning.
Oh,
Brightest Day is in the house.
Hey, what's up, Brightest?
Dude, you should check. Are you following Brightest Day on Twitter?
Of course.
Oh, good, because
I met this guy in person at the Vegas meetup and at Orlando as well. Like, he's really, really cool guy.
And they are wonderful people to hang out with, and we find the cons now. We go to movies, and he's a huge cosplayer, and he's fabricating like this entire Alan Scott Green Lantern Kingdom Come armor.
And I see that he made a bit of a whoopsie. He cut off a little too much, but he's going to try to Frankenstein it. He said
that's what my rabbi said at my bris. Hey, okay, waka waka. Hey, shucks.
I almost feel like I want to put a blue in here. I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
I'm going to put this blue in here. I know, but the chicken. I might put the chicken in there.
You do anything you want.
Because
you didn't even know about it like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, because I was thinking about putting it in there, but he said he wants him to be cool looking. So
Cool looking.
you know what I mean?
Rubber chicken doesn't scream cool.
Right. But I don't know. I'll think about it. I might do it.
You should have him chasing him between his legs in that white spot. You know, like come back to me, Papa. You know,
Get over here.
yeah, like don't leave me behind. Never leave a chicken behind. Aw. I want to go to one of those the big meetups because
Yeah, you gotta make it out, dude. It's fun.
it's because it's I travel poorly. That's no excuse, but it's more of like they're expensive. They really are. Wow, gosh, they get so expensive. I'm like, really, hats off to you. I was gonna go to Dragon Con in Atlanta this year,
Yep.
but I had somewhere to stay at a friend's place, and I could have taken the public transportation right to the convention hall, and it was very convenient. But still, ticket prices, airfare. I mean, just when you're there too, and then like, oh, I just it's wow. God bless you, traveling cosplayers.
Yeah. I mean,
Huzzah!
it's definitely I mean, it's always worth it though because not as much as like seeing like the big names or whatever, but just meeting people like Brightest Day and other people that you have a lot of interaction with.
Yeah, like I'd like to meet Eric Kay. You know what I mean? Just like
He's a very nice guy. He's a gentleman.
exactly. And
Yeah.
we're clobbering times. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
just hanging out, and wouldn't it be cool to be like you're at Austin, you're in Texas, you're at Dallas, and like you're hanging next to some guy, and you recognize your voice, and you're like, "Are you Doomcock?" So like, wouldn't that be cool?
Yep. Yep.
And I hope he would drop by too. I mean, I hope like there's nothing like burnt bridgy with him and Gary.
Brightest
I
Day.
think there is.
I never
Yeah,
thought.
I don't think that this guys will ever get back to. No,
Oh,
it's burnt.
I miss
I
the Inquisition
I never thought.
Yeah, that Inquisition was. I enjoyed the Inquisition more than I do
more.
the Frontier one.
Yeah.
I mean, I like some of the what goes on with the Frontier one, but I'll be honest, like I enjoyed the Inquisition more. It felt a little bit more, out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it just, mind you, for
On
what is
the
it called?
rack.
Forbidden Frontiers.
I love that.
It's still, it's they're getting some really big names on there though. They're guests,
Uh,
so I'm very impressed with that.
the Frontier one.
Yeah. But Gary said, that's what he wants to do. That's his retirement thing. He wants to do stuff like that. That's what he enjoys.
Hmm.
So I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on.
Well, one thing I would like, I would love to, be an agent of and advise, and to use the leverage of comparison to our others across the aisle that seem to reject notions of forgiveness and common groundness. That these creators that we've been paying attention to for years now, that they find maybe even just the public, face spirit to reconcile just for us, because they definitely share communities and share lives and share people. And I would love to see, it just breaks my heart to see like how is it kayfabe or is it something deeper? But like the attitudes towards Ethan Van Sciver, I'm like, I love Ethan, but he's a big blowhard. We all know he's an idiot, and that's part of the fun. But I mean, I will say this out loud. I thought only SJWs were incapable of forgiveness and understanding.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that's like, why be like them? We need to be different than them. We need to forgive each other and move on. I would love to see Jeremy and Ethan make up, and because we all want one more episode of High Council, something like that. I mean, and one more episode of the Inquisition for fun's sake. You know what I mean?
It's almost like having your favorite band get back together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it just but also to counter the cultural. If you think you're in a culture war, then why are you being like the enemy?
Yeah.
And I think those kind of things happen, and that's a win for them, the enemy, and a loss for us.
Yeah, we need to be, in unity in our differences, and even if it's like, we got into a fight, but it's what you do afterwards that counts the most.
Yeah.
Was there forgiving involved? Was there understanding? Was there growth? Or are I don't know. That's what I would, and even throw in the whole spin of fundraising as well. I mean, seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
these are opportunities.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say here that the reason a lot of this just it ends and there's no more like chance of them getting back together again is because, and this is just my personal opinion, I could be
Mhm.
wrong, but I think that especially for someone like Gary, right? He's been through it pretty much all in his lifetime, if you know what I mean, as far as experiences come, everywhere from homelessness, prison time, this and that. And what you do is you build up a wall and you have guidelines for that. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then once somebody breaks those guidelines, you lose your trust with them. And then basically I you lose that and then it's gone forever. And yeah, I know, Eric, that you want them to get back and everything, and I know it'd be really nice, but I think that he's one of those people, like, he makes that hard break, and then
Mhm.
afterwards, it's like he breaks it off like a girlfriend and a boyfriend do, you know, like you instead of, like, hanging around and letting it go on and on and on, you just break it off and it's goodbye and never talk again. Throw away
Yeah.
the phone number, this and that, and I think that's just what's happened, and I
Mhm.
think that's what the case is for many other things. He's always said constantly he doesn't have time for drama, and I hate drama, man. I hate it myself, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. It is disappointing. You want to see like Inquisition and stuff like to come back and people to not have petty fights because what happens
You
then
need to
is
put
all
petty fights on the rack.
yeah.
You
And then
know.
what happens is you start forming cliques afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, these people are welcome. But you know, the one positive thing I do see, Eric, is that there are a lot of people that you see who still are on both sides, who still
Mhm.
you see them in chats, who still are on live streams, and they don't bother with it. You know, they're fine with it. They're
Right.
okay,
Yeah,
like
I see
being on
the
both
same
sides.
people. I always notice
Yeah,
that, like, who's who. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
see Mexican
yeah,
Iron Man over in Ethan's,
yeah.
live streams all the time, and I'm like, there we go. I
Yeah,
mean, because
exactly.
we do share, like, it's we are the audience, and we watch everyone, and
And
like,
do you know what that says though, Eric?
mhm,
That shows you who really makes up the fellowship.
mhm.
It's it's not just those big namers or the YouTubers. It's us, man.
It's the whole, it's the fabric.
Yeah.
It's not
I
just
mean,
the design; it's the carpet.
right. And I'm not trying to like, you know, throw shade to anybody or say
Mhm.
that you know, but they wouldn't be where they are without us, and we wouldn't be here talking to each other if it wasn't for
Without
them.
them, or the
You know what I mean?
shitty friggin' pop culture. I was
Yep.
thinking, if it wasn't for Kathleen Kennedy,
Yep.
we all
I would
wouldn't know
never have
each
met you
other.
guys. I would never have met you guys. No, not
And
at all.
seriously, isn't that's kind of the truth.
I wouldn't be doing what I am right now if it wasn't for her. So God bless you, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, you brought us all together. I mean, geez, yeah, you're yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but I understand where Gary's coming from. He's like, I have no room for drama. Once it
Uh-huh.
happens, like you're out of my life. So he
Hey,
breaks it off like a girlfriend and boyfriend do.
shield wall.
Have a good one, man. Take it easy. I've been working on this picture for too long.
Ah, you're doing
Yeah.
fine. I think adding blue was a good idea.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. Like I'm not. I'll probably do another one. That's what I do with a lot of these. I do two of them,
Hmm.
especially when I'm at home. When I'm at the cons, I don't. But when I'm home, I'll just like, yeah, I'll try another one. And
You can always sell
or
that one too, because it's not like
yeah,
you're
that's
not
what
going
I
to
do. I
move it.
keep them. Yeah, I
Yeah,
keep it and I sell it. Yeah.
Wow.
because, like, yeah, that'll just sell on its own. Like, oh, Deadpool.
Yeah.
You guys remember how I said I was gonna go to Alpaca Con or Matt, my game store yet last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, funny.
You said you were going to hang out with Warhammer people, right?
Yeah, I was gonna go hang out because there was a one day art painting contest.
You're
And
painting your dolls? Oh, yay! I think boys should
Yeah.
play with dolls.
Yeah, but funny story. I was on my way out there. I was on my way there, and I ride my bike everywhere I go.
Good.
I was like,
Is
And you
it a
got hit by
Columbia?
a
Is it
alpaca.
a Columbia 10-speed racer that you won from a Marvel comic?
No, it's a swing cruiser, beach cruiser.
Nice.
Swing.
And I was on my way, and I got a flat tire,
Oh,
and I was halfway there, and it's like a 3 mile. It was 3 miles from my house, and I'm like,
Well, that's an
"Shit."
hour walk. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't have a bike patch kit with you?
no, I was like, shit,
Live and learn.
and I
Yeah.
left my pump in my other bag, and I'm like, oh fuck, I better just walk. I better just walk. And I'm like, I just walked all the way back home because I didn't want to go all the way to Mad Alpaca because that would be a 6 mile walk back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and when I got there, my stepmom was like, what my dad and stepmom were cleaning the yard, and they're like, what? We thought you were. What happened? We thought you said you wouldn't be back until 7.
Yeah, you were gonna have the house alone.
yeah, they're gonna be knocking the
They were
boots.
gonna put on some music, light some candles.
I don't think my dad can get it up anymore.
Reuniti, a strawberry reuniti on ice and a pork roast.
You ever heard of Viagra?
Yeah, except well with the thing with and I'm like, I got a flat, and I had to walk all the way back, and she's like, well, why didn't you call any of us? I'm like,
It's true.
You would have been pissed off at me.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. There's two pissed off. That one, you called me, and two, that you didn't call me.
Right, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, it's like
Yay!
I was actually trying. Roman Empire.
Hey, what's up there, Roman? How you doing? Good morning to you.
Good pasta.
Good to see you here, man. Roman's a good guy, and his streams I'll always check out as well. I love going. Yeah, his stuff is fun.
And quantifiably, when we watch and we give metrics to other creators, it's more beneficial for us to be giving metrics to each other as well. You know what I mean? So like to make time for the big shows, but also to make time for each other as well. And because who deserves minutes? Who deserves clicks? You, every one of you, all of us.
I wouldn't mind going on Roman's stream, or I want to go on Matt on I'm trying to get Mac to have me as a guest star, maybe next week, because I'm going to talk about why I'm taking a break. I'm going to be talking about why I'm taking a break of Zeb Wells' Spider-Man.
Have you thought of hosting a live stream yet?
Yeah,
no, I'm not that big of a creator.
Baby steps there. You can create, and then you have content, and this is how you create your body of content, little at a time. I mean, okay, Kiss, the rock group Kiss, the face paint and everything. Gene Simmons, one of my lifelong heroes, and I will always remember this. And I wish I took this like to heart long time ago. But nickels and dimes fund the Kiss Army, and he's right. And then when it comes to that, so it's like I look at those like my nickels and dimes as my metrics, about every subscriber I got from every short. And it's that kind of paid off, so if you make shorts to pimp your show, and just keep doing it, and keep at it.
I'm gonna right now I'm thinking about right now. I'm waiting. I'm gonna do a review of Spider-Man Red Sonja, and I'm also going to do a review of Necromunda Terminal Overkill, which was a Warhammer novel I read, which is very reminiscent of Conan the Barbarian. And
very cool.
Yeah, and it takes place in like a steampunk goth city.
Sorry, Roman of the Empire is just saying something real quick. I'm sorry. I'll be doing Dark City on 29th June, 5 PST. You want in? Sure. Sounds cool, man. Let me see what date that is. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Juan.
Yeah. What one of the things that I liked about Necromunda is that it takes place from a female protagonist perspective. It's very, and like I said, it's very reminiscent of Conan the Barbarian. Like first she was the daughter of a gang leader, and then she became a slave. Then she went into the underhive, which was is basically the part of the hive city where like the mutants and everything else hangs out, and the mutants and the evil dregs of humanity hang out. And there was she becomes a slave for this one guy and his dying wife. She then becomes a hunter, and then she goes back and becomes a new gang leader to her own gang, and then she gets revenge on the people that killed her gang. And it's just one of those stories that's like really good full circle.
What's up, Nosferatu?
Hey.
How you doing there?
And these are the kind of stories I like, and especially in a Warhammer setting, it's awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah, man. Just talk about that kind of stuff that you really like. You're passionate about it. I think it'll be. I mean, talking about stuff that you hate is one thing, but when you start talking about things you like, you can really get enthusiastic about it. I think that brings in people even more.
Yeah,
because you can only listen to people complain about stuff for so long, and then you're like, yeah, okay, well, let's move on.
Yeah,
you know,
and, I mean,
get over it.
I got a good response from my Spider-Man Life Story review.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna do more Spider-Man content, because I'm going to make after I think I'm gonna do like Spider-Man Red Sonja first, and then I'm going to do Necromunda Terminal Overkill. Because, like I said, I'm taking a break from Zebul's run.
Yeah, why not like a comprehensive, issue by issue, breakdown? You have 919 issues of Amazing Spider-Man, not counting annuals.
Yeah.
To cover, and that's, if you did one a day, that's 3 years of content.
Yeah.
Boom, right there.
I was going. What I wanted to do. Like, I'm going to, like I said, I'm coming back to Amazing Spider-Man in December, but till then, I'm going to be collecting the trades, because I'm going when the run ends in May, I'm going to do an in-depth review of the entire run, and I'm going to. And I'm gonna give my honest opinion about it, because right now my opinion is very poor on the run.
The whole you've been entrenched in it for so long that it's like, you just need perhaps. Okay, here's an allegory. When I'm at the comic book shop, I'm at the shelf, and I'm right up there looking at stuff, shelf by shelf.
Yeah.
And now that I know myself and my eyesight, what I do is I step back from the shelf and I look at it from afar, and I'm like, oh shit, I saw something that I didn't. It's weird. It always happens. It's not like I was looking to not see it. I find something I was interested in by stepping back a little bit. So, I haven't bought a new issue of ASM in years. So I thought that this issue would be a particularly interesting one to pick up on, to own my opinion by being a paying customer. And to maybe take advantage of one of these, stellar variant covers.
Yeah. And but the thing is that
mine was done by Gary Frank.
Yeah. The thing is that right now, for me, ASM is just very depressing. And like I said,
true. I mean, because it's like, honestly, I see the good stuff that you guys can't. You guys are so mired, and then you're with your bad feelings. And I mean, I didn't see bad story here because it's all truncated. I didn't get 2.5 years of filler. I got the meat, so I understand that. I mean, I know where I'm coming from, but also it's like, I'm seeing the pacing, I'm seeing the art, I'm seeing I'm seeing heroic sacrifice. I'm seeing
Oh, take it easy, Ronan. Have a good one.
Cheers. Bona McNoki Kese. It is good for us to be here. But yeah, so it's like I mean, I'm just waiting for someone to say like, "Oh, you're stupid for liking this." I'm like, "Okay, let's go."
I'm not. Yeah, you can like it, but I've been following these issues, and like the one like I thought it was like a sick joke to have like the issue of Peter and Mary Jane officially break up on Spider-Man's 60th anniversary. I thought it was like a sick joke.
Mm-hmm.
And it just it also, because of the whole mystery box type of writing that Zebwell seems to have adapted, it's just got so frustrating for me.
Yeah. Hey, you know, all these paperbacks that you bought though.
Yeah.
How have those been?
I've got like some issues from the Nick Spencer's run. I've got Spider-Man. Like I said, I showed you most of them. Let me bring them out again. Some of these I got from my comic book shop. Oh, but BTW, support your local comic book shop. Yeah, these are some of the ones I got. This Chip Zdarsky Life of Spider-Man Extra. This includes the Spider-Man Life Story Annual, and Nick Spencer's Volume 3 Lifetime Achievement. This I actually got earlier, like last month. Nick Spencer's Volume 15 Victory at What Cost. This was the last one before Zeb Wells took over.
Mm-hmm.
Volume 4. I love this one because he made Kraven a complete badass in this arc. So Volume 4, the hunted, and also got these. I got this week. Spider-Man Marvel Knights Reign, or Marvel Knights Spider-Man Reign by Curry Andrews. It's a very underrated book in my opinion. I got the first 2 volumes of Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. This one's by Jerry Conway. This one's by Dan Slott.
Ooh.
And Spider-Man Red Sonja crossover. And let's see who did the writing. Written by Michael Avon Oming.
Hemming, yeah.
With art by Mel Ruby. So yeah, I got a good haul so far. I got a good haul, and these are gonna go on my bookshelf right there. Make myself look a little more professional when I'm on stream.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you're too young for a spinner rack.
Yeah. I'll also got like these are like I have a lot of trade paperbacks, and they're in a hollowed out footrest, and I'm like, I should have like put these up since I'm on stream. Since I'm on stream almost every week with you guys, I should put these up to make people know that I'm a fan, and get some statues, like put my Punisher up there on the top of it, and maybe get another. Maybe get a Green Goblin and a Spider-Man on there too.
Mm-hmm.
And
do it.
Yeah, yeah, I am. I got this like Marvel. I see
do
like
it. Do it.
do it now. I see. Yeah,
my little green friend.
I see like this one. I have like this one statue set that I want to get for my comic book guy. Together, it's going to cost $90. It's it's Spider-Man versus the Green, or it's like the Spider-Man. It's like the Marvel versus, and it has Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting that. I mean, I got like this chibi Spider-Man. Let me get it. Free comic book day. Very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna put that on my bookshelf. And like I said,
teddy bear too. No, he doesn't have a teddy bear. What's the other thing you're talking about? Deadpool having
chimichangas.
Chimichanga.
Yeah,
and chimichanga look like.
And one of the things,
kind of like a burrito-ish.
Deep fried burrito. And one of the things that I like, that I want to do, that like I'm padding out my collection. I'm basically looking for, like, there was this one series I read online. Oh, Mrs. Flu.
Hey, what's up, Mrs. Flu? How you doing there?
It was like a steampunk version of Dynamite, of some of Dynamite's. It was like a steampunk version of Dynamite's heroes. Like, you had a steampunk version of Red Sonja, you had a steampunk version of the Green Hornet, you had a steampunk version of Flash Gordon, and they were all in this.
It's kind of funny because Flash Gordon kind of originated in a really kind of steampunky kind of look. Like, wasn't quite. It was like Art Deco for its day, and if you can watch any of that old Buster Crabbe stuff, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like it's like very. I'm looking for that. I mean, like one of the trade paperbacks I got right now is a crossover between Tarzan and Planet of the Apes. And that's a really good story, good read right there. And it's like, I'm just trying to get a lot of trades, and I'm trying to find a lot of trades so I can get
that bicycle.
No, so I can fill out.
Win this bicycle. Been trying to win this Columbia bicycle for 43 years.
I just want to fill out my bookshelf that I'm getting on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And also, one of the things I want is I'm trying to want to get on my bookshelf is J. Michael Straczynski's Omnibus Volume 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's his entire run, from Amazing Spider-Man 31 to One More Day.
So, James, you're changing your mind on the background.
I don't know what I'm doing here, man, to be honest. I'm just messing around. I get to this point where I just go back and forth over things. I wash things out. I cover it up. I go back and forth. And then I'll probably end up throwing this picture away.
Yeah.
It's just, that happens sometimes. Like, you're just messing around with stuff. I'm just experimenting as I'm going, playing around with things, and then liking it, not liking it, and then go back in here and kind of wash things back out. And then I don't know what I'm doing.
When I was going through, when I was looking for my trades, I found this one.
Nice, Danger Girl.
Yes,
Campbell.
Yeah, you cannot. I don't think we'll be able to see anybody be able to make a comic book like this again.
You never know. Dynamite comics are known for their cheesecake covers. Vampirella, Barbarella, Red Sonja.
There you go. They just need to get the rights, and
Dejatoris. Yeah, I mean, I like those covers.
Wildstorm is now part of DC, but I doubt that DC is going to do anything with it. So maybe they could get the rights from them. I remember there's this one Danger Girls, which was a crossover between them and G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was funny because Abby Cross infiltrated G.I. Joe. It infiltrated Cobra. Yeah.
Very well drawn Baroness. I love the Baroness.
Yeah. And there was this one
bearing ass. She's...
There was this one part where Storm Shadow and where they were doing where they were actually fighting where it was Flint, Stalker, Scarlet, Abby, and they were in the base trying to stop a nuclear or a missile launch, and they end up getting stopped by Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes decides to stay behind so he can fight Storm Shadow on his own. And Abby is like, why? And they're saying Snake Eyes is buying us. Scarlet says Snake Eyes is buying us some time so we don't get killed, so we can finish the mission. She's like, why don't we just help him? We have guns, and he has, all of a sudden a shuriken just goes right next to her eye, and she's like, right, guns don't work on ninjas. And I thought that was like funny.
Guns don't work on ninjas.
That they do not. Too fast for him.
If I had a dog, I would name him Shokasugi.
Oh,
he'd be the coolest dog ever. His puppies will be known as Shane and Kane.
I learned who Shokasugi was from Brendan Tennell's movies, or Brendan Tennell's video of review of 9 Deaths of the Ninja.
Good shit.
Oh, which reminds me, I forgot to respond to you, Eric. Yes, that was the
5 elemental ninjas.
Yes, you wrote me about. I just now remembered that. Sorry about that.
You were going to a con at the time or something. Your mind was occupied.
Well, dude, my mind is occupied.
See, this is friendship. You are forgiven.
Yes, don't hold it against you.
Exactly. I mean, next we're gonna have to have an intervention. We're gonna the Inquisition intervention. Hosted by Jinja Ninja and Reverend Sully.
Hey, why not? Let's do it.
One of the things, speaking about, or going back to 9 Deaths of the Ninja, I thought it was funny that the weirdest thing was the opening to that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it.
No.
Oh, really? It's terrible, but it's great.
Yeah. The opening credits scene to that movie, where Shokasugi is doing like ninja and like martial arts sword techniques while these 3 women are dancing around him. And they had like
the opening credits. Yeah.
And they had like this weird song that you could slow dance to at a wedding. And that it was just so freaking weird.
Cocaine, it's a hell of a drug.
It's the 80s. Yeah. There's this for your viewing pleasure later on, James.
what is that?
It's the opening. Well, not the cold opening, but it's the opening credits.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
9 Deaths of the Ninja. You're a Shokasugi fan. You deserve this. It's like he's dancing with 3 Pat Benetars, and
he's doing sword moves and they're doing ballet. Nice. Mixing genres, eh?
And nobody wears, who wore mascara better for a man? Was it Nick Rhodes at Duran Duran, or was it Shokasugi? I think it was Shokasugi. It was the 80s. Men wore mascara.
Guess what movie I saw the other day?
The Little Mermaid.
No.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Ooh.
No.
Deep throat. How deep is your deep throat?
nothing that vile. Okay, dude. It was prophecy.
Okay. The one with Christopher Walken?
Yeah. Christopher Walken. I saw the entire trilogy. Man, Christopher Walken is like has like this cool redemption arc in that entire movie. It's in that entire trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Like first he's the okay, this is spoiler territory to anybody who has not seen the Prophecy series or the Prophecy trilogy. Like Christopher Walken plays the Archangel Gabriel. He hates humanity. He wants to destroy it because God basically gave him a gift. He stopped and he's sent to hell at the end of the first one. Second one, he's kicked out of the hell because the devil thinks he's too evil for hell. He learns
kind of like Eric Stoltz, right?
No, the devil was played by Viggo Mortensen.
Really? Who am I thinking Eric Stoltz for? That's weird.
Is it a Jinja?
Could be.
The second one, when he leaves hell, he learns that a Nephilim was born, which is half human, half angel, and that child was prophesied to end the war in heaven, and when he tries to kill the baby before it's born, or kill the mother before she's born, he kills the father, the angel who was the father, and he was punished by God by turning him into the thing he hated most, by turning him human. And in the third movie, he basically lives life as a human while watching over this Nephilim and protecting him from the people who want him dead, from the angels that want him dead, till he can fulfill his purpose. He even sacrifices himself to save the kid, to save the guy, and he's rewarded by becoming God's angel again. And I really respect this character arc because it shows like someone who actually earned his redemption.
I need to go check those movies out. I remember I've only seen the first one.
Yeah.
The Prophecy.
The second one. The only thing that's holding it is Christopher Walken's performance. The second and the third one, the only thing that is really good is Christopher Walken's performance.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my favorite scenes was in the third one when he actually saves the boy from an angel or saves the Nephilim from an angel that's trying to kill him, and he sees one of his old generals, and he says, "I could kill you right now if I was nothing." He's like, "A mugger can kill me. Fried food can kill me." Have you ever been with a woman? Have you ever been with a woman, Ezekiel? It's like dying. You grip, you beg, and you scream, and then you release. and I die every night, as much as I can afford it. Because he lived for like 20-something years. He lived as a human, and he hated humanity, and he was someone who hated humanity. But he learned how to live. He learned why God gave them their blessings.
I'm going to check out that Prophecy movie again. Oh, speaking of Viggo Mortensen, have you guys ever seen the Western Appaloosa?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Go check it out. It's great. Ed Harris, Viggo Mortensen, Jeremy Irons, Renee Zellweger.
Ooh, sounds cool.
Yes, go check it out.
I have to bounce immediately.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it.
Okay, but I got to go take care of something right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, man. Have
cool.
a good one,
Thank
Eric.
you.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
All
Awesome.
right,
Thank you so much. Sorry, I got to bounce. Sorry.
All right, man.
Okay.
Take it easy. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna go ahead and call it, Juan.
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been messing around with this picture for too long.
yeah, it's okay. I got everything I had to say about ASM 26 off my chest. I'm gonna start. Okay, so we're gonna do sign offs now.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah, if you want, if there's anything you wanna,
Okay,
there
this
you
is
go.
all right. This is Bandito Bane, the well-rounded nerd, the Super Spider-Man fan, and the Warhammer noob. And yeah, I'm taking a break from ASM for 6 months. So, but I am going to be reviewing. So I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man Red Sonja, the crossover between Marvel and Dynamite, and I'm also going to be putting up a review for Terminal Overkill. For Necromunda, Terminal Overkill, another Warhammer novel review. And I am going to, like, later this month, I'm going to be in the Ohana Comic Con in Vacaville. It's going to be a comic book toy and it's going to be a comic book toy and anime expo in Vacaville, California. So if you guys live in California, go check it out. Go check it out. It's going to be on the 25th of June. And after that, there's going to be another, an even larger one on July 8th and July 9th called StocktonCon. It's going to be in Stockton, California. I'm going to try to go to both. I'm going to try to go to both, but you can find me on Twitter at Bandito Bane. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, same as at Bandito Bane. Also, you can find me at you can DM me at bombermanefx@gmail.com. Going back to writing fan fiction, I'm also doing a comic book. If you guys want to help me out by being beta readers or editors, or even like throw some ideas around, I'm always open to it. I like making friends that way. So that's it, and just let me sign off by saying keep playing and God bless.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on and
Always a pleasure.
joining the fun tonight. Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
All right. I'm going to I'm still messing around with this picture here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Well, there it is right there. I
Isn't
like
it-
the inside part of it. Yeah,
Isn't
around it. What's that?
Isn't it just like scratching it now?
Well, basically what I'm doing is I'm just scratching it. Like I probably scratched too much, but that happens. But what I want to kind of do is kind of play around with some of this white space. I might do something. I don't even know if I'm going to get this. I'm going to probably do another one tomorrow. It sucks because I was kind of worn out today, and you gotta try to persevere through it, and yeah, I can't do something that I like. I'm gonna have times where I make mistakes or where I make stuff that it's like, I'm not really feeling it. And today's kind of one of those days. I don't like to do that live stream, but it happens. It happens to the best of us. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll keep this around, and maybe somebody will enjoy it if I put a little bit more work into it and kind of like work into it and not be conscious of what I'm doing, because I think I'm a bit over conscious of what's going on with it right now. So I think if I do that, I'll be able to save the piece. So I'm going to try to save it. I'll work with it, try to save it afterwards. But,
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to call it a night though on this one. But thanks everybody who came out here tonight and checked out the show. Hope you had a good time, and I will see you all next week. Until then, sayonara. Have a good one. Bye-bye.